Welcome, listeners, to episode 5 of Gridlife Digest, the culture and gaming podcast, and the number one 4D candle podcast. My name is Noah Frescop, and joining me today is Mad Max Meyer.
Hello.
Eliza Shaw.
Hey.
Platt, Matt, Kook, Linsky.
Trophy lives matter.
Emma Myers.
What's up? It's been a while.
It's been a while. Every Wednesday, each of us chooses a topic for conversation, and we recommend a piece of media for the group and audience to check out. You can get the show on iTunes, YouTube, and now Google Play every Wednesday, and be sure to check out gridlifedigest.com to see all the content in one place. And while you're at it, follow us on all of our social media platforms, at Gridlife Digest on Twitter, and at Gridlife Digest Pod on Facebook and Instagram, so you never miss what's happening. Quick housekeeping, the show is now up on Google Play, as I said, and we also got our first batch of merch, and it's looking great, so you can go check that out on gridlifedigest.com. Order yourself some merch. Look good.
Please do.
What have you
So we
guys
can get
been
more.
playing? Yeah, so we can get more merch. If you buy merch, we can order more merch, and we can all have more merch together. So it's just a collective, raining down of merch.
Woohoo.
What have you guys been playing?
So I've been playing Mass Effect Andromeda.
Still? Where are you at?
I'm on the second planet,
Mm.
but yeah, I'm there. And Shovel Knight. I finally played Shovel Knight this
Good
week
game.
It's a fantastic game.
on that Switch. And yeah, I realized how much I suck at like old school platformers and stuff.
And that one's even like made to be a little bit
But
more
I
forgiving.
beat it.
You beat it?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be able to get past like the first couple worlds if it wasn't so forgiving.
Great game though. Awesome. Just everyone go play Shovel Knight. That's one that just everyone should go play. It's like on every platform now at this point.
You pretty much.
For Vita, Switch.
Yep. Does it play well on Switch?
Yeah, it plays pretty well. Like, Ed, what else do you want?
Yeah, that's true. What about you, Max?
I haven't really been playing anything. I don't know. I'm kind of in a route, whatever you want to call it. I've just been hanging out with my friend and watching Netflix, but really hyped for Lost Legacy, which I've pre-ordered and preloaded. So tomorrow night at 9 p.m.
It's
started.
on.
So I'm gonna play the intro before bed. So I'm like super hyped.
Can't wait.
Reloaded.
How about you, Emma?
Everyone's all hyped for
Yep.
Lost Legacy. And
Oh, yeah.
It's like Jack and Daxter is finally going to be on the PS4.
I thought that was out
But
already.
no,
No, it comes out the same day.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. That's a good treat for everybody.
Oh, you can buy it separately?
I'd hope
yeah,
so.
all three or
Yeah.
4 of the games.
No way.
And
So
Jack
if you pre-order the Lost Legacy through PSN, you get first Jack game for free.
If you need another incentive to play
I just need that
Uncharted.
Jack X.
X has been officially confirmed multiplayer, which I'm extremely excited
Oh my
about.
God.
I might
It's
get
a
it if
lot
that's
of
the
fun.
case. If that's the case, I'm probably gonna get it. Honestly.
That real thing? I thought that was a joke.
Oh,
No,
it's-
that's real.
Oh, it's a
It's
real
legit.
thing.
It is very much real.
I really thought that you guys were joking when you said that, like as a way to get Emma to notice you.
Oh no, I said Jack 4. I said Jack 4 is coming. That's never coming.
No.
I was driving home and I saw that I was driving my friend back to his house and like that notification popped out on my phone and it was like Noah and it was like Jack 4 was just announced at Gamescom and I looked at him like they're just screwing with me. I was like they're just trying to get my attention. There's no freaking way.
Yep. I hope it. I feel like it worked. It worked as well as I wanted it to.
It did. I knew that it was not real, but there's that tiny little sliver of hope, you know.
Yep. That's what I was relying on.
Noah wouldn't lie.
No, never.
Boy.
I won't do it again. I promise. I won't be a boy who cries Jack.
Can't joke about that. You can't joke about Jack and Daxter. It's too real.
It's too sensitive. Have you been playing anything fun?
Just finally stopped working. So I haven't really been able to play that many games, but I've been towards the end. I started playing Oblivion again because that game is amazing. And Trials Fusion is free on Xbox right now, so I got it and I've been playing it and I've been having some fun with it. You know, just some casual
Yeah, you can
gaming,
just jump in
nothing
and out.
too serious. I'm
Man,
just getting ready for all the freaking games that are coming out this fall.
the
So
onslaught. Just the fall. Just
I'm literally gonna have one day to platinum Jack on PS4 because it comes out on Tuesday and I leave Wednesday. So I'm gonna have to get it and platinum it,
Do it.
good luck.
which is completely doable. I
Good
mean, I know
luck.
the game like
Yeah,
the back of
without
my
walkthrough.
hand, but it'll be fun.
Hopefully it's better than the Vita port. That's all I ask. It will be.
Oh my god.
It will be. So I've been playing a lot of games lately, actually. So since we were on here last, I picked up. I don't know if I talked about. Did I talk about Lawbreakers last week? The whole timeline is fucked
No,
up.
I don't think so.
Okay, so I picked up Lawbreakers. A lot of fun. I really wish people would stop comparing it to Overwatch because really the only thing it has in common with Overwatch is that it has like different like character kits. It's really a lot more about gun skill. If you're not into the more like fast-paced competitive shooters, it's not going to be for you. But it's that unapologetically so. It knows exactly what it is and it's a lot of fun. And also I started a couple days ago I got Hellblade finally and I've been going through that about an hour in. Really intense. Let me see. There was one other thing. Oh yeah, I got on Steam a game called. It came out a while back. Dragon's Dogma. I don't know if any of you guys have played that.
Oh yeah.
A
I've
lot of
heard of
fun.
it, but yeah, never played it.
Yeah, it's actually coming out on PS4 and Xbox One in October, I believe. So that's kind of how I initially heard about it. I'm just desperately trying to fill the void that Witcher 3 left in my heart, and it's doing justice. It's a lot of fun. Great gameplay. The bosses are really epic. Highly recommend checking it out if you have a PC or just wait until the re-release on the current gen consoles. Other than that, and besides, also Sonic Mania. Sonic Mania is fantastic on Switch. That's really all I've been playing.
Is it?
It is. It is. Like I am very much a lapsed Sonic fan, and it's scratching all the itches long dormant, as it were.
Is that the one that's
Alright.
like the old school Sonic games?
Yeah, it's almost a
Or is it more like
it's a sequel. It's like an unofficial, not unofficial because it is Sega, but it is a sequel to the first three, or like a love letter, as it were. But it has really great level design, probably better level design than the original three had. Great music, also just a bunch of little Easter eggs for Sonic fans. Yeah, I probably wouldn't get it if it wasn't on Switch, but just because it's there, like it's just easier to jump into. Yeah, if you like old Sonic at all, highly recommend checking out because this is, in my opinion, and this is shared by many, to be probably the best Sonic game, probably the best one we'll ever get, unless we get like a Sonic Mania 2. So if you have
Or Sonic Heroes
yeah.
2?
No, see that's like where it started to go downhill. I mean, I love Sonic Heroes when it came out, but it's rough looking back on it. Unless they could
Okay.
they could treat it with the same level of care that Sonic Mania was. If they were to do like a 3D Sonic Mania, like with the same level of care, I think they could do something special. My opinion of Forces is kind of mixed still. I don't think it's ever gonna hit the level that Mania is hitting, but yeah, if you have any inclination to play it, it's only $20. Just jump in, see if you like it. I don't know. I didn't realize how much I missed good Sonic because we haven't had good Sonic in forever. If that makes sense. And even all the problems are there. Like, just
yeah.
the bad things that are about Sonic are still there, but the good things are turned up to be even more prevalent. So that's all.
I really only liked the first three.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping that it would be good. It'd be nice to go back and kind of like that again. So
Yeah.
and that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know who exactly is developing it, but it's a team that really cared about those first three games in particular. Just a lot of good nods to the whole Genesis era. It's almost like, I know we talked about Shovel Knight earlier, and Shovel Knight is far and away a better game, but it's like as close as we will get to that level of quality with Sonic, in my opinion. Unless there was somehow to do it too, but I don't see that happening. Actually, no, it might actually. I just don't know that Sega is smart enough to take it because they haven't made the smartest decisions ever. Let me see.
No, Sonic Boom.
Oh, man,
Look at that.
Sonic 06, come on.
Man, I was bad into Sonic. I was one of the people that liked all these games, like Sonic 06 included, like Sonic Unleashed, like all these really shitty games. And then one day I just my eyes were opened, and it all became clear that wait, these are all terrible. And I really haven't played or have been invested in a Sonic game since. Like I heard Generations was really good, but I just was never motivated to go to it. But this is after this, I will probably be satiated forever on Sonic as almost like a last like farewell love letter to the series. Man, Sonic, I haven't thought about Sonic Heroes in so long. I'm like trying to reminisce about it now. Do people like actually like that game? Is that like
I loved it.
You loved it? Okay. Yeah,
Bought it twice.
Wow, dedication to Sonic Heroes. Yeah, there's a handful of good 3D Sonic games, but they never quite lived up to the originals. But that's not really an unpopular opinion.
First 3, and then I think it was Free Riders, the one that was just kind of like a racing game.
Yeah, rented that one.
But I think for that, it's more like nostalgic for me anyway. I mean, I used to play that game with like my brothers and my friends all the time, and I remember having a really good time with it. But I could never really get into the ones.
I always played the battle mode, even though it was terrible with Sonic Free Riders. And then I think they released one for the Kinect that was like really terrible as well.
Oh God!
I can only imagine.
Well, that's Kinect.
I mean, it's the Kinect, but just man, go watch the Angry Joe Show review of that game. It's fantastic, super funny. Can't ever imagine playing that. Gosh, it's a travesty. We should talk about the Kinect one day.
Oh man, because I still have my 360 Kinect. Oh my goodness, Star Wars Kinect has to be video games I've ever played my entire life.
It's almost insulting to Star Wars, that game is.
Simultaneously,
gosh.
it is hysterical. Like the whole dancing mode.
Oh
my
my,
God,
the Han Solo song. I can't.
My favorite is the holoback, or it's holoback girl. Gwen Stefani is holoback girl, but it's hologram girl.
I didn't even know about that one. Gosh.
You just need to look up YouTube of that because it is. I promise.
No. I've spent like all these years of like since like Disney acquiring them to like just put all these memories aside, but now it's all coming back like non-flashbacks.
I loved about those is like, you'd be dancing, you'd be doing your thing, and there's always a part because you were dancing in front of Jabba, like that was the whole bit.
Yeah.
And then he would like halfway through the song, he'd be like, "Well, now you have to be like my professional dancer." And like Leia stands up in her like slave outfit, and she like unhooks her chain, and she like walks over, and then you have to like dance battle Leia.
This is all canon.
Who thought? Yeah, this is canon. No, this was part of the dead
Disney.
EU.
It has to be canon.
Who thought this was a good idea? Like who was like, yeah, this is representative of Star Wars as a whole. Like people love this.
See, if they consider that canon and don't consider Coder canon,
No, they don't. They
swear
don't.
to God.
Could you imagine though?
I swear.
They're like, well, there was like some like story elements I remember. Like I know the one part that looked appealing. Yeah, like the part that looked appealing was like the Rain Corps stuff, like just like destroying stuff as a Rain Corps. But I don't even remember that fondly.
Kind of like those missions in Ratchet and Clank when like you're like huge Clank.
Yeah.
And like you're just like walking around like destroying everything. It's just like a Godzilla simulator.
I'd play a Godzilla Connect game. I mean, I would have to. Yeah, I'd take that. They had the awful Godzilla PS4 game. Have any of you seen that gameplay of that?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
It's something else.
VR.
VR Godzilla. I take it.
Let's get into the topics.
Matt, what's your topic?
I want to talk about your favorite like restaurants, I guess, or places that you go out to eat the most. Okay.
Like, does fast food count?
Yeah. Fast food definitely counts.
Okay.
So for me, like go-to most is like Subway because I don't know, I just really like it and
Eat fresh, dude.
eat fresh and yeah, like I go there almost like and I have my own Subway rewards card and all my brother have one also and like I've got like 3 or 4 free subs using the Subway using my points and stuff.
Would you say you're their favorite customer?
I mean, like every time that we come in, it's always like the same guy, and he recognizes us.
You're a very valued customer.
I like there was just one time where we were walking in the store into the Subway, and the guy already started making our sandwich like before we even walked in because he knew that like he saw us and he knew that we were gonna go in there.
Like, do you just get the same thing every time?
Yeah, usually. I mean, I used to always go with the spicy Italian. It's the cheapest one there.
It's all about the chicken bacon ranch, for me.
I mean that Subway anyway. Like when I go to different Subways, I notice that some of the prices of subs they're slightly different. So I don't know if this is like every location, but the one I go to, the spicy Italian is the cheapest one. And so for the longest time, that's the one that I always got because it was like really good. Switched it up a bit and tried the sweet onion chicken teriyaki, and that changed my life. Kind of.
Do you remember where you were when you first tried this sandwich? Like where were you like in your life?
Yeah, and so now that's my sub of choice. But probably favorite place to go to is like any Chinese buffet really. It's like so good and so cheap.
Yeah, you can't really go wrong. It all kind of tastes the same.
Yeah, but yeah, those are like my 2 favorite places pretty much. Any like Chinese buffet, I'm always down for that.
That's really interesting. I didn't expect Subway.
Yeah, like the kind of funny like Greg, Tim, and Nick. They all hate on Subway, and I'm like, why? It's so good.
I'm kind of hating on Subway too. I'll be honest.
Yeah, no, it's not good. It's not good food, but I love it. Like, does that make sense? Like, I know it's not good.
Definitely.
So there's so many and then there's so many like names, but then there's also so many like sandwich family owned things.
Yeah, there's so many.
So like
better
there's a lot
sandwich
of
places over here.
there's a lot of like competition, I guess, and like variety.
And they're all better. They are all better, no doubt.
So at this point, I'm just gonna say
That's worth it for you.
You're invested in the Subway ecosystem.
Stay healthy.
personally invested in Subway.
The ingredients are a little suspect, though. You gotta admit.
What do you mean by suspect?
Just I don't know if they're everything that they say they are, but you can go read
Yeah, I don't
into
know
that.
if I can trust.
Dude, come on, it's a slogan. Eat fresh. What more do you want?
Just believe the slogan. It's
Does
fine.
she even mean?
Isn't like the bread supposed to be like super gross, like made up of?
That's what I've heard from everyone that's ever worked there.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to ever work at anywhere I like, even though I'm working at a place that I like now. But like, I feel like it would ruin most places for me, especially fast food.
Oh yeah.
You know, what I don't know won't hurt me.
That's
No,
true.
yeah.
That's true. That's
And
why I will
that's
never
true.
work at Taco Bell. I don't want Taco Bell ruined for me. It's too sacred.
Oh God, no.
Is that one of your favorite places?
Oh, absolutely. Like that's probably out of like the low rung fast food places. That's definitely at the top for me. And if you want to go for like the mid tier, I'd opt for Five Guys. Probably. What would you call Five Guys? It's kind of like in this like weird in between spot where it's not really a drive through.
Yeah, like it's
I don't know
not
if I'd call it
fast
fast
food,
food.
but it's not.
It's not like a restaurant.
It's not like a restaurant, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like the happy medium.
Yeah,
It's a burger joint.
Freaking good though.
it's so good.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of it and I hear all the hype. I've just never been there. Am I making a mistake?
You are making mistakes.
Yes.
You
I don't-
legitimately are.
It's so good.
It
I
lives
don't like
up
it
to
that much,
Why?
but yet again, I don't eat that many burgers.
I
So
mean,
these-
you're all about that salad life.
Like for me,
Yeah,
now I am, yeah. But for burgers, I mean, I still go to Red Robin, and I used to only have burgers there. And then I think 5 years ago now, I discovered their chicken Caesar wrap. So I have that every time I go, and that's like my number one, like brand, I guess.
That sounds pretty dang good.
But I'm not picky.
Red
Yeah, I'm
Robin?
not picky at all with my food. Yeah, Red Robin.
Is
'cause,
Red
like, the-
Robin like big there?
There's
yeah, so
one
there's
in about every city, I'd say.
I think there's 2 in San Jose, and there's one next to me here. Yeah,
Here, like Red Robin's kind of like Dean is pretty ghetto. I mean, like they any
Good.
here anymore, and whenever you find one, you're just kind of like, wow, they have a Red Robin in here. It's just kind of like that.
that's
Like,
weird.
that's weird.
Do you guys have like Applebee's?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Applebee's is.
Oh my god, like this is such garbage.
It's
Like
not
you
that
don't eat
bad.
at Applebee's. Here though, you do not eat at Applebee's unless you are like desperate
Desperate or drunk.
because it is bad.
Okay, I guess we're just lucky with our Applebee's because ours really isn't that bad. It's not great, mind you. Like the caveat with a lot of these is like it's not great quality, but I still very much enjoy them. Or maybe I just have like low standards. That might be
I
it.
mean, these are chain restaurants, you
Yeah.
know, so
Yeah, these are just yeah.
yes.
I mean, I don't even go to any of these besides Red Robin. Like, Applebee's. I think the last time I went to one was like 8 years ago on a family road trip somewhere because it's like off the freeway somewhere.
I don't think I've ever been to fucking restaurant talking about Applebee's. Yeah.
I'm trying to see. Do you guys have Sherry's near you?
Never
Never heard of it.
No.
Nope.
It's like a 24-hour like diner type place, like breakfast. Like it's a
Wait,
quote unquote
actually,
all
do they
American
do
menu.
Pie shakes?
Yes. They
Okay,
do
yeah, there's
a lot
one.
of pies related things.
I've only ever seen one, and I've been there a couple times, and it's all right.
It for like when you're out like at 2 or 3 in the morning, it's the best thing. Like nothing else is better than that when you're tired.
Pie in a liquid form.
They have like this really good like cinnamon French toast thing, and then you get that also with like a pie or something. And if you just want to just get fat, you just go to Sherry's at 3 in the morning and get some of those. I'm just trying to think about chain restaurants. I know like the whole topic was just like general food, but yeah, probably. I mean, my number one, like as cliche as it is, just like Italian food in general, like I love. And then also,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then
Italian food is my
well, it's the best, right? Like, can we all agree on that?
Cheese,
Pretty damn good.
Cheese,
Carbs.
absolutely. Yeah, carbs, just lots of carbs.
pasta.
Ah,
Anything
the carbs.
It's a problem how many carbs are
wrong
happening.
with any of that.
I mean, Mexican, of course.
Mexican, Chinese.
Chinese. I mean, yeah, just go down the gamut.
Thai.
Thai. I'm not too big on Thai, but I know you like that, Max.
Yeah, I'm not
I
too
really
big
love
on
Thai
that.
food.
I don't know if I've ever had Thai food.
You gotta
Thai
try
food.
it.
I think it's
Indian food.
amazing.
Yeah, you gotta try
Thai food's
it.
really good. If you like a little bit of like spice in your food, you're gonna like Thai food. Yeah.
Yeah, they're big on spice.
I've never had
I like Thai and
sushi.
Indian.
Is that a problem I need to fix?
That's sushi.
Yeah, I've never had sushi.
Sushi's trash.
I've
No.
tried. It's like sushi is one of those things that like I want to like sushi, but I don't.
Man, that's
I
yeah. I
mean-
don't think I'm gonna like it. That's the thing.
mean, there's
It's
so
just
many different.
too-
There's
But
just
yeah,
so many
there's so
different
many
ones, but
types.
none of them are like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's just weird.
the quality range is pretty gigantic.
Me, it's
Oh,
just like
yeah.
Yeah, you have to go to a good place, and it's pretty expensive. So like the best way to do it is over here at least. There's like all you can eat. You pay like $25, and you just like get as many rolls as you want. Because usually a roll by itself is like $10, and like when you
Well,
think
then
about
you
it, it's
gotta
not
take
too
advantage.
much food, but like it's kind of expensive. So I've done it before with some high school friends where we just like go and have all you can eat. But then sometimes I'm just like, oh, I'm kind of not into this right now, so I get like teriyaki beef or whatever, because they always have that there too.
Call me crazy, but I feel like when just like quote unquote like stereotypical American food, like that's I feel like especially like down in the South you go and get stuff, like I feel like that's gotta be like some of the top. Just ridiculous fried things.
Like
Yeah, I
chicken and
really
waffles
like-
and shit.
Yeah, it's so good. Like
I really like barbecue.
yeah, like
Oh,
you
yeah.
can't
I
go
live
wrong.
in Kansas City, and it's like barbecue capital of the world or whatever. I love barbecue.
I had barbecue for breakfast today.
Lucky. Sounds fantastic. Just wake up with a rack of
Barbecue's
ribs.
great. Or any ribs at any point in the day.
Doing a grill outside.
Man, I might have to make that happen for myself someday. Just like pre-cook some ribs and then sleep, and then wake up and just have them. Sounds fantastic.
Next to your bed,
Yeah,
wake up
yeah.
in the middle of the night,
Like-
snack on them,
Like fucking
go back
Patrick.
to sleep.
Who wants
Yeah, I
a
was
rack?
gonna say it reminds me of the SpongeBob episode.
Who needs
Oh
a rack
boy,
of ribs
3
at 3 in the
a.m..
a.m.? Yeah. It's the alarm clock. Yeah, I'm.
But time Chipotle, got hands down. They're-
It's not that
What?
good though.
Listen, I love Chipotle. Best food of all time.
say what it's overrated. I get it, but I love Chipotle. Carbs, and I think that's why I love Chipotle so much. So like I go there and I get the same thing every time. I get the double rice, which isn't good, but
Gotta do it.
and, like,
Double rice?
oh yeah, because here's the thing.
Double
Some
for like
Chipotles
double
go
meat,
up-
double rice.
No, I don't do double meat. Because sometimes I'll be like, yeah, I want white rice. They'll do like a spoonful, and I'm like, oh, come on. So I have to be like double rice. That way they make sure to fill, the whole bowl and or burrito with rice.
Do not
Oh,
skimp
no.
out on my rice. You hear me? Chipotle.
Over here, they
For real.
pack it with rice. It was an issue for a while with me.
It's just so much rice. Just, I don't know what to do with all this rice.
Yeah, I refused to go to Chipotle for like 3 years because every time I went, there's just too much rice.
Yeah, I kind of have that same
What?
problem. Every time I've gone, it's been like a little bit excessive. So I guess it's just a problem with your area.
It's very inconsistent, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Because it all depends on the people making it. But do you guys have like a Qdoba
Yeah,
over there?
Qdoba.
it's all right.
Yeah, it's kind of like Chipotle, but like, and I've had it before, and it's good. I enjoy it, but I think Chipotle is better. So like, if there's ever like, but I could get Chipotle, I'll always just get Chipotle.
Do you have you heard of
just-
Cafe Rio?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, we have one here, and it's think of kind of like a Chipotle, but way better in my opinion. I don't know if they're local or not. I don't think they are. No, they're not local. But yeah, it's fantastic. It's basically just take Chipotle and just make it just way too good. Also, a lot of rice. It's a problem. It's kind of a widespread problem in the Mexican
See?
grill industries.
I just think
They
Chipotle
don't know what they're
suffers
doing.
because it is a chained restaurant.
Yeah, for a trained restaurant, it's
I mean,
really
I
high
literally-
quality.
I am on my third debit card of the summer because the Chipotle in my town, their mainframe keeps getting hacked.
Oh my gosh.
They keep having to send me new
Yeah,
debit
the
cards.
Chipotle
And I'm on the
mainframe.
third debit card, and it's all because I eat a lot of Chipotle.
Maybe it's a sign. Just
I will never stop.
never stop.
You gotta get the hookup with someone that works there, you know?
Man, it's crazy because like these people that work there have literally been working there since it opened, and I walk in, I'm like, oh, this person's working, or I'll walk in, I'll be like, oh, this person's new. It's kind of sad, but
I gotta teach them how to do it right. Do they
and
know
now
they know you by name?
There was a couple people that used to because I would always go there after my shift at GameStop. And I would go in and I'd be wearing my name tag and everything, and they'd like, try to talk to me about video games and everything. But that was so many years ago. I mean, there's, new people and
They've moved on.
right. And I don't
Better
here
things.
full time anymore. So
Are you ever scared that you're gonna get like some disease or whatever? Because that's kind of common from Chipotle that they have
No.
whatever disease in there.
because
happened?
it's 100% worth the risk for me.
Even if
Okay.
there was a chance, it's still
Right.
worth it.
100% in it. Because that's why I stopped going to Chipotle. Because the one in Santa Cruz when I was going to university, it was like had the disease, so they shut down for like how many months, and then I just like never bothered to go again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it was
Until,
that
like,
specific,
recently.
yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
they'd be
The
isolated.
one here's never had that issue before, so for me, if they shut it down because there was like a health violation, it'd be just more of an inconvenience,
You'd still go find another one.
mad or anything.
You wouldn't be
right?
scared.
Right now.
Guess I'll go to a
How
different
many
one.
times that happened to McDonald's, where it's like, oh, they found E. coli in McDonald's chicken nuggets, but
Doesn't
Still
stop
everyone
anyone.
goes,
McDonald's
yeah.
chicken nuggets, right?
Man,
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
true.
they're
But
kind
now
of having some trouble.
they're opening drive-throughs in Chipotle's now, and I don't like that
No.
because it's just one, your crap is not going to get made right because they're going to be trying to do it fast, and two, it's going to make it so much more freaking busy
Yeah, that's a problem.
than it already is. Like, I am not looking forward to that at all.
Do you think it has the possibility to ruin it?
Oh, yeah, I will probably never use a Chipotle drive-through
Just to make sure
just
that your stuff
because,
is good.
like, I know. Right, like I know I
You
don't
have
want
to
to get
watch it be
home
made.
because it's not cheap. So I don't want to pay. Always get like either a bowl or a burrito, whatever, and a small drink, and it's always the same price. And
Nice.
so it's like a $10 meal. I would never want to pay like $10 and then get home and have this like tiny wimpy burrito or this bowl that's like barely filled. Like I want to be able to watch them and be like, no, you need to put more rice. You need to put more beans. You're paying for
Listen. You need way more rice. Just scold them. It's like going to a sandwich shop at a drive-through. Like it never turns out right. So
I just don't trust it.
I just don't trust drive-thrus in general. Like, I never use them. So,
Me neither.
try not to use them anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna say like there's no
Like-
way you never use them, but you try.
It's actually funny
I
because drive-throughs as like kids, I have 3 other siblings, right? So whenever we went as like a family or whatever to like some fast food place as a drive-through, we would order, and then my mom would park in the parking lot and like double check to make sure everything was in there.
You have to. They always mess it up no matter
Yeah.
what.
Me and my brother coming home from the Green Day concert, we like swung by McDonald's because we were starving, and I got like a burger and fries, and he got like just cookies. And like I handed him the bag, and I was like, "Did you make sure everything's in there?" He's like, "Yeah." Well, I got home, my burger wasn't in there.
A
And I
whole
was
burger.
saying that I was like a little bit pissed off is an extreme understatement because it was really late. It was like 1 a.m, and I was really tired and I was really freaking hungry. So it's like, great. Now I have to drive all the way back there. So I go back there, I go in, and the manager like stares at me. He's like, miss, my lobby is closed. And I looked at him.
Miss?
I was so done. He had such attitude. I'm like, well, sir, I didn't get half the shit I ordered. I was like so mad. And of course he's like, oh, I'm sorry. And he like gave me a burger and like 3 extra cookies or whatever. But I'm like, dude.
Give me some free cards. I have so many free cards from them fucking up. I still need to use them. Yeah. Give him the attitude.
Fucking
Hmm?
11.
You're very quiet.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Shout out to 7-Eleven.
Okay.
7-Eleven. I haven't thought about them in a while.
Yeah, I go there like every Friday night.
What is
And,
your like mainstay?
I mean, usually me and my friends, we usually get like a 7-Eleven pizza, pepperoni, of course.
Is that
And
good?
then, yes, it is pretty good. I mean, obviously it's not going to be as good as like some other pizza, but it's like $6, and for $6, it's pretty good. I like it a lot. Also, they have like really good taquitos over there, and yeah, 7-Eleven is lit.
We lost our local 7-Eleven years ago, and when I was in California, I saw one and I was tempted to go check it out, but I just didn't get to it.
Yeah, we have so many here.
We just straight up don't have any. There's like one that's in like the really, really ghetto part of downtown Kansas City.
Yeah, you don't want to go to
like-
ghetto ones.
That's the only one. Like, there are like no 7-Elevens here.
Jersey, there's like a 7-Eleven, like there's 5 minutes away, like there will be a 7-Eleven. Like it's crazy.
That's how
in
it is
any
here
direction.
with like Quick Trip. It's just regional.
They're everywhere in New Jersey.
So they just like either they're spread around like rabbits, or not at all.
Place with some local. Yeah. Shout out, huge shout out. You know what? Not even shout out. I'm giving a full on Taco Bell.
Oh yeah,
Anyone can talk shit about Taco Bell.
I'll fuck them up.
I don't. Okay, don't show me some like nasty shit, but like you can talk shit about it, but I'll never stop going there.
You can get a lot
Pepsi
for a
Company.
little.
It's
Oh,
like
yeah, you can
4
get so
ingredients, but there's so many possibilities with those 4 ingredients.
Thing just in different like shapes and forms, whatever.
Exactly, and they're all so
Yeah, they
revolutionary.
combine things. Man, that
The-
quesarito.
Oh my gosh, dude, the quesarito, so good, so good.
I don't
The
I haven't
loaded
been in a long
grillers,
time.
the loaded grillers, man. The fucking
Yes,
beefy nacho
yes.
Frito loaded grillers, man. So here's my order. I get the beefy 5-layer burrito, I get the loaded griller, and then I kind of get one of like whatever special they're doing at the time. I really liked the quesarito was like the mainstay for a while. What was that other thing I'm forgetting? They had really good tacos. They had like the 4 different kinds of tacos. Do you know what I'm talking about?
The Dorito ones.
No, it wasn't the Dorito ones. They were. It was a limited time
Dorito
thing.
taco is good.
Yeah, they're good. I feel like the Dorito taco, they kind of are a half measure. Like they're not quite all the way there. Like they kind of taste like
Yeah,
a
it's not
Cool
that
Ranch.
Dorito.
Yeah, it's kind of just vaguely Dorito. If they went even like 75% there, it'd be a lot better. I don't know. I just feel like they were afraid to go all the way with that. Missed opportunity.
Go all the way.
Every time I go there, I get Crunchwrap Supreme.
Yeah, you can never go
Ooh.
wrong with Crunchwrap Supreme. I want Taco Bell now.
Super good.
Man, I wish there was a Taco Bell I could trust over here.
It's hard to find one that you can trust. It really is.
There used to be one like right down my street, but then they moved locations to a busy road next to the rival high school of mine. And what happened was like once they moved locations, I started liking Taco Bell more.
Really.
Really?
Yeah. Because like before I would never really, because it's just like right down the street and like I could just go randomly. I could walk there too, but now it's kind of I could walk there too, but it's kind of a far walk, so
Right.
now I'm like crave it more, I guess.
Yeah, it's more valuable.
Right, you
Yeah.
want what you can't have.
Exactly. Yeah, they built one right across the street from my high school, several years ago, and yeah, it did kind of make it less special, I guess, because it was so close. You could go there after school or whatever, and not have to drive, however long to get there. Yeah, that's a good point actually. The distance is part of the allure.
Yeah, because you want to get in the car and go to Taco Bell, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Once you have it in the
Yes.
car with you, you could go anywhere. Like,
The
Kind of
go on a
possibilities.
trip.
That's just the beginning of the misadventures of Taco Bell.
Yeah. You know when you get Taco Bell, you're gonna have a good night.
It's gonna be a good night and a bad morning.
Yeah,
I've never really had issues.
yeah, we don't
with it.
talk about that.
Yeah, I've never really had
issues with-
issues like that.
I never had
Chipotle
either.
or Taco Bell.
Yeah,
I
everyone
feel
says
like
like
that's just a myth.
yeah, it's a myth because everyone says like oh after Chipotle it's like such a travesty. Like I don't know, I've never really known anybody to have issues or myself have issues, so who knows if it's real.
Those people just need to take digestive pills or something.
Yeah, like
Yeah, they have
just-
Something's
personal
wrong with
issues.
their yeah.
sounds like a personal problem. I'm gonna continue eating Taco Bell.
Yeah,
Exactly.
my body's strong.
Yeah, my body's strong. My stomach fucking laced with iron. Fucking iron stomach. Trying to think if there's anything else I haven't said already. I do want to kind of expand my horizons. Definitely. To kind of like more foreign stuff, like just like more like diverse Asian stuff specifically. But I don't know if there's anything I haven't said or you guys have said. Taco Bell's the big
Ramen.
one. Ramen's fantastic. Can't go wrong there. Well, you
Like,
can go
like
wrong, but
barbecue. You
You
can
can't
try.
go wrong.
You can try Korean barbecue.
see that's appealing to me. Absolutely. Yeah, I'll just have to make a list because there's just stuff like I need to try quote unquote good sushi so I can actually have an opinion. Because I really don't have a concrete opinion. I've had like
I
really
do want to
terrible ones.
say
Yeah.
quick shout out to European McDonald's
I want to have it so
Because-
bad.
because McDonald's
Serve
in
beer.
Europe is amazing.
Just the
It's
quality
like-
level in general.
What's
Yeah. So
the
like
diff-
when I went to Austria, I ate McDonald's every day. Not an understatement.
Because it was that good.
Jesus, why?
God.
Because like you walk in, they have these big screens, and you actually like build your burger, and they cook everything fresh. It's not just sitting there in a little heat basket that they just grab out of that they made 2 days before. Like they actually make it fresh, and like the fries are good and the burgers are good, and it's just a good experience. Now European Fanta sucks.
What?
And I will
No.
forever be salty.
No,
I will
no,
forever
no,
be salty.
No.
All
No.
it is, shut up, Max. All it is it's carbonated orange juice, and it's not okay. It is yellow
You're
and it
insane.
looks like piss.
You're
I hate it.
insane.
Order.
It's so much better because
Order.
it's not as sweet. Americans make everything way too sweet.
Not as sweet. I want my Fanta sweet.
So
What are you
much
talking
sugar.
about?
It's so sweet here, but like you have to taste the European one. It's so much better.
I don't know about that. I don't know if I trust
It
that.
is.
Could I like
Yeah,
import
I
some?
like sweet.
King.
I want my Fanta to be sweet. Okay, bottle like glass bottle Fanta's like the best thing.
Oh yes.
Glass bottle soda, anything. Call me a hipster.
But it was like it's not that European Fanta's like bad. It's just when I went there and I ordered a Fanta and I took a big drink,
They're just
completely it's like not what you expect at all, right?
Different
Because
taste buds,
it is a different drink. Like it literally
Yeah,
just tastes like
way
carbonated orange
less
juice.
So you can import some on Amazon for $32 for like a 6-pack. They're pretty
What
tall
a
cans.
waste.
Yeah, it seems like a waste.
I will just forever be salty about that.
You could
You
get
could just go to
a
Europe. Why do you need
2
Amazon?
dozen. Well, I mean, I'm not going to Europe anytime soon. You can get a 2 dozen case for 55, or just 1 can for $8.99. That doesn't seem worth
All
it.
right.
And you don't even get the
Sounds like a
prime
You
discount.
should just try it sometime though.
Yeah.
Just to
I'd love to.
I mean, even if you Google pictures, I mean, you can clearly see the difference. European Fanta is yellow.
See, that's because America's obsessed with dye. Oh, totally. It looks like orange
Yeah, that's
juice.
true.
It looks like orange juice. Totally
Yeah.
does. Wow. It looks like a fucking Sunny D.
Shout out to pineapple flavor Fanta.
Yeah,
It's good.
Never
I'll
had
allow
it.
it.
I only like the orange. The orange it's my favorite soda of all time, but I only like the orange.
I mean, yeah, the orange is good, but pineapple also pretty good. Try it out sometime if you haven't.
In a bottle if you can.
Would
Never try Fanta Zero though. It is awful.
Don't try anything with a zero attached to it.
Yeah,
as
no
a life
zeros,
rule.
no diets,
diet?
Get the fuck
yeah,
out of here
nah,
with that.
honestly.
trash.
It's trash and it's worse for you most of the time.
Yeah, not a big fan.
It tastes disgusting and it's worse for you. It's just a lose-lose situation with all these things. I don't know how people love Diet Coke so much. It doesn't make any sense. It's
Yeah,
Like-
it tastes horrible.
you just like I like want to. It's like one of the only things like I want to spit out.
People get straight up addicted to Diet Coke.
Specifically Diet Coke. Yeah.
Right.
There's meth in it.
I mean, potentially.
I mean, it's different if you're diabetic, I guess, but then I can
Yeah.
understand, obviously. But
I just wouldn't drink soda
right, yeah.
because
Yeah,
I
that's
would
no-
rather
that's
have
no
water
life.
than Diet Coke.
Shout out to water.
I mean, water is
Oh
underappreciated.
yeah,
It really
hell
is.
is shout out to water.
Water is good.
Water is good. You heard it here.
Specifically Dasani. I know they put salt in it, but gosh dang, it's good.
What? Which one?
And
Dasani water?
Oh, I hate Dasani. It's so
Whoa,
gross.
no.
See, I love
Ugh.
Dasani.
No, I just want like straight spring water.
Yeah.
None of the artificial minerals and
I
shit.
cannot do spring water.
Ugh, just clear,
Poland
just
Spring
completely
water.
empty. Dasani,
But
it
it's
doesn't even taste like
came from
water.
the mountains of Iceland.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want any added anything. Even though I'm sure they add stuff in most of the quote unquote, spring waters. Like Dasani's just too much. It's just way too much. I mean, ice. I'm not gonna
I mean, if
turn
we're being
down.
honest,
Yeah,
if we're being honest,
Water?
like water brands, they taste pretty much the same to me.
man. I
Like
Dasani though. It's like the extreme.
water is water to me. Like
No.
I wish I felt that way, but I don't know. There's some brands. There's definitely some that are better than others. Unfortunately,
I'm not racist towards water, is what I'm saying.
you don't discriminate,
Yeah.
man.
I'm a big fridge water guy.
Yeah,
Oh,
fridge,
yeah.
fridge water. Oh my gosh,
Shout out to
Fridge
fridge
water.
water. Shout
That's
out
what
to
I'm drinking
fridge
right now.
I miss fridge water.
water. Fridge water's good.
You don't realize how
Me too, man.
important fridge water is until you don't have it anymore.
Why
Yeah,
don't
you
you have
just
it
miss it.
anymore? What is wrong with you?
Just
Get
moved.
a Brita filter thingy.
That's gonna have to happen because yeah, it's not good here at all. Still better than Dasani though, in my opinion.
Of course.
I
Bottled
like-
water,
I like
trash.
I like the flavored Dasani. That's not bad. Like the lemon,
They just put salt in it.
basically. Yeah.
So it water is supposed to, like quench your thirst, but what they're doing is like they're making you more thirsty by drinking water. So
Oh,
you
get
have to
another
keep
one.
it. Right.
Yeah, and I never go for that for thirst quenching, but we always had a vending machine with them in high school, so I grabbed them then. Yeah, and
And it's
it
like
literally
way
didn't
too
help.
overpriced.
Yeah, it's way too overpriced, and it really didn't help with thirst whatsoever.
The grocery store that I worked at, I was getting ready to get a drink, and the soda is cheaper than the water bottles there.
That's
Yeah.
why we have
I'm
diabetes.
just like, really? Right. Like, come on now.
It's a lot cheaper to eat unhealthier.
Yep.
Shout out to McDonald's.
Yeah, just in general, like all issues aside, it's good. Like when the other night when I was driving home, Carl's Jr. was closed, and they weren't closed, but I wanted a shake, and their machine was closed. So then I had to go over to McDonald's and get a shake from them because I'm still chasing the Alamo Draft House chocolate shake that I had in SF, and I haven't been able to like get anything even close to that, and it's kind of driving me crazy. I
I need to
need
get that next time I go.
it's so good. Like it was a life-changing thing. Like I've been chasing this shake ever since, and I nowhere I can go has anything quite like it.
Best shake I ever had is Sonic.
Sonic's
I
good.
love
It's too
Sonic
thick.
shakes.
I like the really smooth ones.
Yeah, I get that it's too thick. Even I
It's
think it
very
is a
thick.
little too thick. Wait, you can't just drink it automatically. It's like you have to like suck it up with all of your force in your body.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta earn it.
Like,
And the Alamo Draft House, the straws were
Better
all
than, like-
wide, so like it was
oh
so
man,
smooth.
yeah, it's like real,
Gosh,
like Brahms.
it was a life-changing thing. Just what is
I
like
love
the best?
milkshakes.
What
They're
is the
so good.
best milkshake? Like, what is the best fast food milkshake?
It's still
Oh.
Sonic for me.
Still Sonic.
Hmm.
Jack in the
If you
Box
count-
strawberry is so good.
Even McDonald's, I love
Yeah.
McDonald's milkshakes.
Yeah, it's good.
Fast food milkshakes, I gotta give it to McDonald's.
Well, I mean, the Shamrock Shake. Shout out to that.
I can never get into
That's
it.
a good shake.
I
It's
can't.
it's all
I
right.
don't have an opinion.
I only like chocolate. I can drink vanilla shakes. Like if I go to Steak and Shake, I'll get like a cookie dough milkshake, and it's like vanilla milkshake with chunks of cookie dough, and it's like fine, but
The In-N-Out shake
just
was good.
straight chocolate milkshake is great.
Man, I gotta give
In-N-Out shakes
probably-
are really thick too, though.
Yeah, they are. They're not. Man, they're not quite as bad as Sonic though, which is kind of like where I get turned off. I don't know. For the number one for mine has got to probably be Jack in the Box strawberry. I need to try their chocolate because I'm still hunting this illustrious chocolate milkshake down. But I've always been in love with the Jack in the Box strawberry one, even though it's like super fake, but it's so good. Can't get enough of it.
Listen, all Taco Bell needs to do is make chocolate shakes, and they'll be my exclusive fast food restaurant
Oh,
for life.
absolutely. Yeah, if they can just get that nailed down. Like I don't care about your Mountain Dew like products. Like, just give me a good milkshake.
Give me the chocolate shake.
The
Yeah.
10 different Mountain Dew drinks they have there.
Yeah. What is it called? Like Mountain Dew. I'm blanking on the name right now.
Baja Blast.
Baja Blast. That's right. That's what I'm looking
Yeah,
for.
blah, blah, blah.
Red looking one.
Yeah.
I
Too many.
definitely don't trust that.
There's something shady about that Mountain Dew.
Is Sonic
Yeah.
popular over there? Because like there's only one here in Gilroy, which is a 30-minute drive, and I only go there because there's Gilroy outlets. So like clothing and shit is cheaper there because it's like all the outlet stores.
We have a
So I'm
ton.
like
here.
never over there.
Dude, even here, like back in Fairfield, there's, well, I guess by Fairfield, which is where I used to live, there's a Sonic, and like the place you go to the movies,
Okay.
that's right next to it, and then you go to Sonic right after, and then
Yeah, because I mean,
put the seats all the way
Sonics there
back. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I
drive-thrus.
understand. I want to shake now.
Seats all the way back.
Might have to go get a shake after this. Except I'm still not sure if I want to go. Well, no, because Jack in the Box, man, Jack in the Box needs to close their thing at like 1 or 2, not 11. It's always I always get there and it's closed, or they're cleaning it.
wow,
McDonald's
The
is
one-
good.
the one right down my street is open till 1:30. I just looked. Jack in the Box.
Just
There-
Steak and Shake. Steak and Shake has like a late night menu from like midnight to like 3 a.m. where you can like only get like exclusive items at that point. So they have like a 7 patty burger you can get
Oh my gosh,
like
how much
only
is
between
that?
midnight and 3 a.m.
Oh,
It's really not that. I think it's on like a $5 menu. Like it's
Oh
not
my gosh.
expensive.
That sounds
Midnight
good.
and 3.
I'd be totally down for
speaking
that.
of Steak and Shake, is that good? Because that's like it's brand new opening here in downtown Campbell. There's gonna be one, so like I don't know.
love
I've never
Steak and
been,
Shake.
obviously, so
The aesthetic of Steak and Shake. It's just they have like the type of burgers that are like really thin, you know.
Mhm.
I forget. There's like a certain name for it, but like I don't know if you guys have like Culver's there, but Culver's has like butter burgers, and it's just kind of like they're very thin. They have like the very thin fries, the very thin burgers.
So that's how
like
they
it.
can get away with 7 patties.
shot. I just every time I drive by it, it's like now hiring because I think
Yeah.
they're just like mass hiring before they actually open.
You should def try it sometime.
One thing I neglected to
What is that,
mention.
Campbell?
What? Cannibal?
Campbell?
Campbell.
Is that what you said, Max?
Yeah,
Chicken inside.
I might check that out.
Campbell. One thing I neglected to mention that gets kind of a lot of hate, but I really love deep down in my heart is Buffalo Wild Wings.
I love B-dubs.
There are better
Ooh.
there are better wings out there, I know, but man, garlic parmesan, bone in, so
Bless.
good. So good.
The Parmesan garlic flatbread, and it was like amazing. It was just like a flatbread pizza
Flatbread.
that had the Parmesan garlic, and then it had like the pieces of chicken on it. Oh my god, it was so good.
That sounds
But they
fantastic.
like discontinued it.
I was gonna say I don't think I remember that. We got it here pretty late. They have really good mozzarella
Man,
sticks
I'm gonna
too.
get a lot of hate.
Pickle
for
rolls
it.
are also amazing.
I'm gonna get a lot of hate, but I can't do bone-in wings. I gotta go totally boneless.
I respect the
Aw.
boneless. I do. Like I do really like boneless, but
Not
specifically Buffalo Wild Wings, I've discovered that the bone-in I prefer a lot better. I will
Yeah,
never
me too. Actually, they
I-
taste better. in
I'm
my
never
opinion,
gonna
like,
say
way
no
better.
to boneless. Like there's this uproar about how boneless aren't real or aren't real wings or whatever, but I can't subscribe to that. Like I'll always respect
mean-
the boneless.
You get wings, and you're getting more than just wings, though.
Yeah.
You know, you get the drummies.
You get the drummies. Do you like drummies or wings?
Oh, I love drummies.
Okay, because I used to
They're
be
so
that way.
easy.
I used
So
to be that
simple.
way, but I've transitioned more into the wings because you can just like, I don't know, you can like just slurp them off. It's super gross, but that's how I do it. I like a little combination of both, but
Yeah, I have respect for that. When we went to Wing Wings, after Kind of Funny Live 3, listen, I've never eaten so many wings in my entire life.
incredible.
So, yeah, I got respect for, people who are eating wings,
I
bone in,
I
sucking
still
them clean.
yeah, just sucking them down. I still think about wings every once in a while, just like longing, just for something that I can't have. That's like between wings and the shakes. Like those have been like left holes in my heart that I haven't been able to fill since coming back home from that trip. I don't know. I
There's
had
always next year.
there's always next year. Hopefully I make it, but yeah, just man, I never thought to put bacon chunks on wings before, and even just that little thing was just revolutionary for me. That might not be
The bacon revolution is real.
the bacon revolution is real. Shout out to bacon. Did we talk? We didn't really talk about bacon much. It's
Shout out to bacon.
we can all agree. Can we all agree on that bacon's good?
No,
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well,
All right.
I'm not a big bacon person. It's one of those
Bacon's good,
things like I'll eat it if I have to, or if it's like put in front of me, like I'll eat it, but I'll never ask for bacon.
I like bacon on things more than I like it by itself. If that makes sense. I mean, I still like it by itself,
Yeah.
but I'd rather have it on a burger or with another item.
Bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich from McDonald's is lit though.
The
Can't
the
deny.
whole breakfast menu.
Yo, the whole breakfast menu at McDonald's, except for the biscuits,
Yeah, the biscuits
Um,
aren't good.
Biscuits are so
perfect hangover food.
Yeah, just when
Let
they
me
announced
tell
that they were gonna do all day breakfast, like I was way too excited about it. And then I
Surprised
went.
they didn't do that sooner.
Yeah, well, it's the issue was with the fryers, and their solution was that you can't get. I don't think you can get hash browns after a certain time, because that was the whole holdup. Because they need the same fryers for the fries, but they can't do it the same way.
Gotcha.
I'm just waiting for the McRib to be an actual legitimate thing.
Just like all the time.
Yeah, just all the time because we love the McRib too much.
They gotta create that artificial scarcity though. They gotta create that demand.
Right.
What are they? They're trying to copy Nintendo?
I mean, I don't know who's copying who, but they definitely have some of the same ideas. I do like the McRib though.
I mean,
It's
you're
good.
right, Nintendo. They make video games. McDonald's. They sometimes sell those like stupid mini games.
Hey, I've seen Mario toys and Happy Meals at McDonald's, so
It's very true. They're basically the same thing.
who knows? It might be.
Nintendo is equal to McDonald's.
Basically.
You know, I like the McRib, but I can't even recall what time of year that comes back off the top of my head.
Random. Like, I don't even know if there's like a set time. I'll just be
I've
driving. I'll
never,
be like,
I've never
"Oh,
even had a McRib.
what?"
Yeah, I've never had it.
All right, we
What
need to
is a
fix
McRib?
this. We need to fix this.
I didn't even
All right, I'm looking at a picture.
I mean, of
They're
course the pictures are gonna look
fantastic.
better.
Yeah. When if you look at the pictures, but when you get it, you know.
I want a McRib now, really badly.
Dude,
Now I'm
when they
curious
come
if the
back,
McDonald's by my house has a McRib in right now.
In? Do it.
Yeah, I don't
No,
know.
it's-
Like, I don't know if I do.
Go.
Feel about it.
Do it. Any other foods?
McDonald's like after like during summers in high school, I would go with my friends, and then come back and play more League of Legends. But besides that, I don't really. I haven't been to McDonald's in so long.
Just other than those excursions. What other? I feel like Arby's gets a bad rap too. Like they kind of get hate on, but I really like them.
they posted
I
a
haven't been to
An
Fallout
Arby's
picture the
in
other day.
so many years.
Their social media is ridiculously
I
good.
mean, they're so.
Yeah, props to them. I don't even really like Arby's. I mean, it's fine, but I'll never go there like on my own volition.
Yeah, no.
I don't even know where
Not
they're
for me.
near me.
Arby's here is right next to Chipotle. So why would I go to Arby's when I can just go next door and get real food?
Get real food, realer food. I feel like I need to give Chipotle another chance.
You do.
I'm willing to give it another chance, but I've never had like a mind blowing experience with them.
I mean,
I
I'm
know a
willing
lot
to
of I know
Like,
a
one of
lot
my-
of people that are like they like they're just like, well, I don't like Chipotle because I don't like Mexican food. And I'm just like, dude,
It's not even Mexican. It's like so
Right. Chipotle
whitewashed.
is not Mexican food. Like,
Like you think Taco Bell is white Mexican food?
and there's so much more you can get there.
Let's look
Get
at
a
the menu.
burrito or just a bowl. Like, you can get there.
Yeah, their tacos,
I've never tried them.
pretty good. I recommend it. Don't like rice.
So apparently it's removing
I don't get
chorizo
double
from
rice.
its menu to make room for queso. And I'm down for some queso. Absolutely. Get that in there. I'll come back. Yeah, I'll give it another chance. There's one pretty close to my campus, so I'll try to make it down there and give a review.
You gotta give it a try. It's not gonna be like the best thing you've ever had, but like it's gonna be something that is an option for you every now and then.
Yeah, it'll be.
And it fills you up.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, it fills you up more than fill you up.
Fill me up. It's no Cafe Rio, but that's really far away, so this is the next thing. Any other glaring omissions before we move on?
Shout out to water.
To water, yeah. Just
Shout out to water.
water.
Water
respect.
shout out.
Glad no one mentioned In-N-Out because In-N-Out's not good.
It's just so okay.
Never had it.
It's just so
Yeah, it's
very
not
okay. It's like it's probably better than McDonald's, but
It's better than McDonald's.
it's
but
no
like,
Five Guys. Certainly not.
Are you even saying much?
Exactly. Like, that's a pretty low bar to jump over pretty easily. But yeah, it's no Five Guys. Just go to Five Guys.
Isn't Five Guys also a lot more expensive?
I mean, it's worth it
Yeah,
though.
Like, isn't
In-N-Out's
it-
pretty
Now
cheap.
that they,
Aren't the burgers like $8 or something at Five Guys? Whereas
For like a double.
In-N-Out it's only like $1 or $2.
In-N-Out's good for the price, but
Yeah.
Five Guys is like that's what you want.
If you're gonna go out for burgers, just go the extra mile, spend the money, get something good. Go to Five Guys.
Get some peanuts.
The Thai place I go to is right next to Five Guys, and every time I'm there, I'm like, nah, I'm gonna go to Thai food. Sorry, Five Guys.
Next time, just make the right choice. Go to Five Guys, please. Your life will be changed. Get the double with bacon.
I mean, I've had it before. I just don't really care for it, I guess.
I'm gonna give Chipotle another chance. You give Five Guys another chance.
Okay.
All right, deal.
Deal.
Elijah, what's
I'm
your
glad
topic?
Okay, so my topic is the whole. So this happened a few weeks ago with situation. I don't know, kept up with it, or if you noticed it at all, or if you even know. I'm not sure.
He was like
To be
the
honest-
Polygon
Yeah,
reporter writer thing, right?
yeah, he did like video at Polygon.
Okay. Like all I saw was like something. Was it like sexual harassment or something like that?
Allegations.
Sexual harassment. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That was like to the extent I like think I saw a headline. But I was like, oh, that kind of thing happens way too often now. So I was like, oh, another reporter got busted for that.
Another one.
Wait, what did he do?
So it kind of started out when Overcooked launched on the Switch, and he like just went off on the developer because I guess it wasn't like port to the Switch. So like he just went off on Twitter, like really not professional, and then from there people like started coming forward like, yeah, this guy's he's actually kind of a dick, and has been sending me like has been like DMing me on Twitter and kind of sexually harassing me, and more people stepped forward, and it just became like a real issue, and he kind of went silent for a week or so.
Do you have
Wow,
his
like-
statement?
Yeah, I have his statement when he came back. So he like Twitter on the 3rd of August, came back on the 10th, and what he said was, all right, let me read it. I messed up and I owe you an explanation. Over 9 years on this website, which is Twitter, I've used it for every aspect of my life, making friends, finding jobs, and yes, embarrassingly, flirting. This means I have on many occasions used Twitter to hit on people. That's embarrassing enough on its own, as it's now clear that some of these advances were unwanted or handled very poorly. But there's another significant issue. While my platform and my responsibilities grew, I failed to grow alongside them. Over the past couple years, I kept on using Twitter the same way I always have, including sliding into DMs. A move that carries an entirely different weight when you're a private individual versus when you're a public one. Not that long ago, I had an extremely small following online. I never imagined I'd someday be getting messages from people about how they made has pulled them out of a dark place or affected them positively. I certainly never imagined there'd be fan art with my dumb face on it. Say this, I'm now, as weird as it sounds, in a position of power, but I'm ashamed to admit a few days I hadn't appreciated the responsibility that brings. I'll admit that when this conversation first started, I was defensive and confused. I've always tried to be a thoughtful, considerate person when it comes to this stuff, and couldn't understand what was going on. But the more I thought about it, the more I understood where people were coming from. I believe that when someone says you've hurt them or made them uncomfortable, the right thing to do is not to argue, it's to listen. What I was flirting can quickly become something more insidious when one of the people is in a position of power. I totally failed to recognize this. I've spent the past week doing little besides reflecting on my own behavior. I'm embarrassed, obviously, but more than embarrassed. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to anyone I ever made uncomfortable with my advances, and I'm sorry for disappointing fans of mine who rightfully expected better from me. And I know it falls on me to earn back your trust by changing my behavior going forward. That's exactly what I intend to do. So that's the end of his letter. After it was announced that by like whoever was in charge of it, I forget his name.
Let me see. I have it right here.
But
Chris
yeah,
Grant. And do you feel like this was like genuine?
I feel like it was. I've been following him on Twitter for like for a year maybe, and I got any sort of feeling like that things he said would be fake, you know. So I definitely feel like this was genuine. It was a fuck up, and you know he was fired from his job pretty much. So you can do besides just look back on it and like really apologize.
Yeah, there's not much you can do,
And it
especially
wasn't
when,
like a yeah. It sounded very genuine to me, at least.
yeah,
I mean, I've never heard of this guy before. I haven't heard this story, but to me, it does sound like a genuine apology. I mean, he took the time and effort to like write that whole statement up. So, from my eyes, I think it sounds genuine, at least.
especially how he emphasized how like his immaturity, like how he didn't
Yeah.
grow up
I mean,
alongside like his following.
that's easy
And-
to admit.
Yeah, and the main exposure I had to him was on like the tail end of Revision 3 when that was kind of going down, like just
Mhm.
the slow descent into just its eventual downfall, and so where he was really trying to like keep the ship afloat. And I kind of respected him for that because he had a really difficult situation thrust upon him, and he handled it pretty well. But then kind of after once that channel kind of tanked, he kind of just went to the wayside. I didn't even know he went to Polygon until just recently. Yeah, I thought he was kind of cool. He's been one to say quote unquote controversial things online. He doesn't really care to leave that out or like censor himself, which is maybe
Yeah,
put him into trouble.
I kind of want to emphasize like the division between like what he did and like a games journalist and stuff like that, because he was more on the back end YouTube of Polygon. Like they do like real reporting and stuff, but he was more doing kind of the silly stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. It sucks like that people have been treated this way by him and don't feel like comfortable around him, and he describes it as flirting, but a lot of the people that came
it's
out,
hard to judge that too. Like,
yeah,
obviously, if you're the one like flirting, how they're reacting and how like maybe you might see it differently than what they're reacting to.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Like,
especially over like DMs.
Over just like a text, like you can't read emotion really through any text or anything.
Yeah, there was a reply to the initial like Overcooked tweet that said maybe Nick would have time to help the Overcooked devs out if he wasn't in every woman in games' DMs all the time. That was really kind of what struck it. And yeah, I don't really know what side I fall onto this, because like I obviously empathize with the people that feel victimized by his actions, but I can't help but feel that his response was genuine and that he's genuinely going to try to fix his behavior. So it's really tricky.
Kind of what
he came out and admitted it, and he apologized. There's so many people that like get accused of like sexual harassment, and they're just like, no, that wasn't me.
Yeah.
It starts this like quote unquote this like war between all these people that are making claims, and then this person, and it's kind of like a he said she said thing, and it's like so overwhelming. Easily been like, well, I didn't do that, and then all that would have happened was people would post screenshots or blah blah blah, and like he'd end up getting found out anyway. So I think he messed up, but he handled the situation like he should have.
Yeah, and like Polygon had to let him go. Like they couldn't keep him with all of these allegations, so they were kind of backed into a corner with that. Like they put out a statement like, he's suspended and we're gonna just take some time to figure out what's going on. So they weren't like quick to rule judgment, which I appreciated. Like I have my issues with Polygon and their reporting, but like I feel like they handled this as well as they could have. Like they waited to see how much evidence they can gather and to really to substantiate their claim and see who was in the right and who was just making shit up. it's just a hard thing because you have the business, and then you have his personal following, and just all these factors that, man, it's crazy. Like, it's hard to really boil down
Yeah, the balance
black
between
and
the
white.
what he says, the private versus public.
Yeah,
That's
you
like
have to keep that in
balancing
check.
it. That's really hard. Yeah,
You
yeah.
have to watch what you say.
The line.
Yeah, it's tough. I hope he.
I think why.
Go ahead.
Oh, so I was gonna say why I wanted to bring this up is I because of his statement and how genuine it was, and the things that he's created. Should we just ignore it, or should we appreciate it for what it was at the time? Because before this all happened, I started watching Car Boys, and I got pretty far into it, and this all happened, and I was already a little stopped watching it. But I finished the rest of Car Boys a few days ago, and I kind of felt guilty about it because Robinson, this guy who's sexually harassing people, or who was.
Yeah,
And
it does kind
I
of change.
kind of felt
the
guilty, but
yeah.
at the same time,
It does
So I
change
don't
the
know.
perception, definitely.
And it's kind of like would you stop watching the Cosby Show now that all this stuff that Bill Cosby's done, or would you stop listening to quote unquote insert artist here just because they did something, because people make mistakes, and
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think
I
the
guarantee
difference
you.
is that he was so genuine about his apology and didn't fight anything. Like Bill Cosby, all of these things to
It
There
is
is
a
and
little
everything.
bit different.
That was under the wraps for a long time, and then it came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, with that specifically, I personally have issues, and this is my own deficiencies, but I have a hard time separating artists from their art, and that's something I'm trying to work on. But with the Cosby things particularly, yeah, I don't know if I could watch the show now, just knowing everything that happened and how he treated it. But yeah, it's just a case by case basis. With this particularly, it's hard because it's it just happened, so and who knows where he's gonna go after this.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting, what's his next move and what's his next job. I predict it won't be for a while, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see how people feel about him when he comes back into more of the spotlight.
Yeah, I'm really curious about what his future is going to be, because the things that he was part of was really I enjoyed everything he did,
Mhm.
so I wanted more content from him, but at this point it's when, if ever, are we going to get something that comes out of his creativity?
And so he said also that he'll be taking a break from social media for a while, but he'll be reading replies and whatnot. So he's kind of just gone dark.
Yeah,
And who knows how long that'll last.
he hasn't tweeted anything out for 10 days now. He was pretty active before, so
yeah,
this
very
is-
active.
Yeah.
It's just weird because I've seen him pop up just on the front page or whatever, and he said some funny stuff, and I like his work, what I've seen. But yeah, it's where does he go from here? It's really curious. I don't
His
know.
reputation's ruined. He's gonna have to do his best to work his way out of that. And
Rebuild
people
back
are
up.
always going to see him as that now. People are always going to look at him and be and associate him with what happened, and it's just consequences for what he did.
Yeah, and he's gonna have to live with that. I also feel like he has there's a lot of people defending him, whether that's right or not. He's gonna have at least some people at his back, even if that might not be for the right reasons. I don't know.
I'm not
it's tough.
defending him or anything, but I'll check out whatever he does next,
Yeah,
just
exactly.
because I was a fan before of his work, personally, I'm not sure if I can say that anymore, but I'm just curious to see what he's going to be doing after this.
Yeah, it's hard to say right now. I feel like he could come back out into more of a public light, or he could just kind of go behind the scenes and work kind of just under the radar, just trying to build up himself back up again. I don't know if he's gonna go straight back into media. I just feel like that would be weird. But what do we know?
Yeah, he's gonna want to be public for a while.
Yeah, it's
sad.
so hard.
The whole situation is sad.
It's sad. Yeah, it's sad and it's complicated for everyone involved. And yeah, like my sympathies, of course, go to anyone that he's harassed or makes them feel uncomfortable. And I stand with them primarily. It's just pure curiosity that I wonder what he's doing next.
Episode of Waypoint Radio, like right after this happened. I don't know if you guys listened to Waypoint or anything, but Austin Walker he brought up how come forward to him personally, this became public, and it just, I don't know, because it was it just wasn't right for them to come forward at the time, I guess.
Yeah.
It's really complicated.
We'll have to check back in as this develops, but any closing thoughts on this one?
I'll watch Carboys. I have a couple episodes left, but after that,
that's something he produced, right?
He edited. Well, I mean, he was in the show. Yeah, he probably did most of the work. That's kind of his skill set.
His own project.
His kind of baby, I guess.
Gotcha. Yeah, I've heard of it. I just haven't had the time to check it out, and I don't know if I will now, but who knows. Max, what's your topic?
All right.
Max?
So my topic this week, because I'm back on the show this week, is celebrity encounters. Whatever celebrity, internet, actor, actress, whatever. So I was in Toys R Us once, or pulling into Toys R Us with my family, and Pierce Brosnan, the guy that played James Bond, was in this fancy ass tuxedo with 2 shopping carts full of toys, just dumping them into the limo. And I was like, I saw him first, and I look out the window, like, wait a minute, isn't that James Bond? And she's like, oh shit, it is. And I was like, oh no way, we just saw James Bond. And at this time, I was like, you think oh, James Bond, he's so cool, right? You can do all this stuff. So it's just really awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Because that's my first, with a really famous person, even though I didn't talk to him or anything, but I just saw him in person.
Yeah, that'd be trippy.
Since then, I kind of followed him, I guess. Once I got a Facebook, I liked him on Facebook or whatever. So I still follow him or whatever. So
because of that day.
Yeah, I'm just oh, it's this guy that I saw and he's famous, so why not?
That's pretty cool.
And actually, what were you gonna say?
Oh, it's nothing.
Oh, okay. So my aunt's actually an actress in Germany. She's not well known or anything. She's more doing theater stuff right now.
Yeah.
But she was in this series that's kind of Mean Girls, but really rated R version and stuff, really sexual jokes and stuff.
Yeah.
And we were at a swimming pool once, and one of the this teenage girl was like, wait a minute, aren't you from this show? And I was like, and she said that, and she was like, oh shit, you know this? Because it's super weird. And we were just all standing with my aunt. And I was like, what the heck? This girl actually knows my aunt. And then another incident was her boyfriend at the time, not ex-boyfriend. He's like on a more popular show that like elderly women watch.
Oh, okay.
And we were in a zoo, and he got stopped and asked for an autograph. Also in like a restaurant, and happened. I don't know. It's just kind of weird.
Was it like from like some old lady?
Yeah, it was from some old lady.
That's funny.
And in the restaurant, it was our waitress. She like waited until we were done eating, and then afterwards she asked, "Oh, can I have your autograph?"
Wow, that's pretty cool.
What
That's
about you
pretty cool.
guys? Any celebrity encounters?
I think it's like different. You like you and Eli both, you guys like live in California. It's like that kind of stuff's like really big there. I mean, like I live in Missouri, so the extent of like celebrity encounters I've ever had is like I've met some, like sports players who are, are like big in my eyes. I met
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I love
I
sports
met
too. So
Whit Merrifield, who plays for the Royals, and he was great and he's doing really good. Um, and I go to school in Oklahoma, and Oklahoma City has like the AAA team for the Dodgers. And I met Corey Seager, who is like, this hot shot in the MLB now, Rookie of the Year, and he's doing really great. And he was really nice. Now it was a couple years ago, and I just went and because a lot of athletes like just don't sign autographs anymore. It used to be, I mean, when I was a kid, like the baseball players, they'd always come over to the sidelines and like sign autographs for the kids that were there. They like don't do that anymore.
I feel like
And it's
autographs in
kinda
general
sad,
kind of don't
But yeah,
happen.
Yeah.
and it just doesn't happen anymore. And so yeah, like I've met like sports people, and I've met Chubby Checker. I don't know if you guys know who he is.
No
But
way.
he sings songs like The Twist, really big in like the 50s and 60s. I met him and got a picture with him and got his autograph and everything, and I was actually 13. I was the youngest person at that concert, and he kind of was like walking
Wow.
through the crowd singing, and like no joke, he came up to me and he was like singing to me, and he like grabbed my cheek and everything, and I was just like, man, I was like so starstruck because I love that kind of music, and he was like, I've always known who Chubby Checker was.
Oh,
know?
him. Yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah,
I
so
blanked on it.
like I met him, and that was great. And I've also met George Harrison, was the guitarist for the Beatles.
You
I
met
met I met his sister,
Okay. Okay.
Close enough.
which
wow.
granted, like no, it's not George Harrison, but that's close. That's like the closest I'll ever get to the Beatles.
That's
And
pretty
the
close.
Beatles are like
That's so cool.
right, they're like my second favorite band of all time. I'm a huge Beatles fan. But of course, like when I met her, I was in 5th grade, and I wasn't really into the Beatles really that much. It was actually meeting her and going to that tribute concert that kind of like started, my obsession with them. And it breaks my heart looking back because there's like so many things I wish I could have like asked, It would have just meant way more to me now, like if I was to meet her now than opposed to when I met her when I was in 5th grade,
Oh, yeah.
But like that's really it. I've never really met, like Miley Cyrus or, any big wig actor or anything.
Speaking of Miley Cyrus, no, I'm just kidding. I've never met Miley Cyrus.
No way.
No.
I mean,
No.
Emily Osmond's coming to SF Comic Con.
Yeah, it's just kind of SF.
Nobody comes here, like, at all. We don't get anybody.
Where do you live?
Idaho. Boise, Idaho.
Okay.
Yeah, nobody comes here. We don't have any, like, big events. No big Comic-Cons or anything.
There's
So
a lot of people going there for the eclipse.
yeah, tons. We're in one of the most ideal locations.
Yeah, so are we here. That's going to be I have to go with my high school as a chaperone tomorrow.
Oh, really? I don't want to chaperone a bunch of kids. Yeah, gonna get up and see that. Luckily, classes are canceled around those hours. They were gracious enough.
You might see some celebrities there trying to catch that moon in
I
front
mean,
of the sun.
I doubt it, but it's entirely possible. You never know. Yeah,
You never know.
I've never really had any personal encounters personally. There was one time that just out of nowhere, Peter Mayhew came to town. It was weird. But that was more like a conference thing. You know, like you go like watch him talk. But
Yeah.
that wasn't like I ran into him on the street or anything. So yeah, I really don't have any real encounters because nobody comes here.
I mean, at my job, I didn't really meet these people. I just kind of saw them. I don't know if you guys know who the New Jersey Weed Man is.
Weed Man?
I'm not familiar.
Celebrity of New Jersey, the Weed Man.
Basically, he's kind of like a political figure. He owns his own weed-themed restaurant called the Joint.
Okay, so creative. So fucking creative.
This sounds amazing so far.
He's a cannabis rights and free speech activist, and basically he has this quote unquote religion where basically he's trying to legally smoke weed as a right of religion, I guess. So he's trying to use freedom of religion to legally smoke weed, and he's been arrested like several times, and his restaurant got shut down a bunch of times. But yeah, so he kind of has like a lot of notoriety in New Jersey. And one day I just saw him in the parking lot of the grocery store that I work at, and he was taking like flyers and he was putting them in people's like windows, like car windows, saying like vote for this guy because he wants to legalize weed or whatever. And then the other guy that I've seen who's actually kind of famous, I think, is Biz Marquee. He came to
Nice.
my job, and he was just like buying some food, I guess. And then my boss recognized him. He got a picture with him, and they were talking and stuff. And then I guess those are my only two that I could think of.
So I googled New Jersey Weed Man. He looks about exactly what you would imagine. I'd recommend.
Yeah,
His name is
I would say.
Ed Fortune, Forchion. He belongs to the legalized marijuana political party, the legalized marijuana party. He is known for
That's a
cannabis
party I could
rights
get behind.
activism. He is, so free speech activist, frequent candidate for public office, actor, writer, owns a restaurateur, yes. So yeah, very, very interesting. He looks. I didn't want to
Yeah.
assume anything, but he looks exactly what you would assume.
First thing, one of the first articles that pops up when you search his name from NewJersey.com is New Jersey Weed Man goes live on Facebook as cops arrest him.
Yeah, so that was only in March.
Yeah, no, he's been arrested like a bunch of times, I think.
Well, he's fighting the
Gotta
fight.
legalize weed.
Yeah. I'll have to show you guys this like video on Facebook that I saw. Like it has a pretty good like his beliefs and his restaurant. It's pretty interesting. But yeah.
Huh, I'll have to check that out. Very interesting.
Yeah. I'll look it up and I'll link it to you guys.
This is still a higher celebrity than I've met.
A higher.
Oh, I want to say that was intentional, but I'm not clever at all.
Wow. Okay.
I just like that he invented his own political party.
Yeah.
Like his political party is the legalized marijuana party.
He knows what he
Invented
wants.
His own political party, his own religion. Sounds pretty biblical, you know?
I mean,
Yeah.
he's weed Jesus.
Yeah, I think so. He looks like, you say the name Weed Jesus, and this guy.
This is what comes
Yeah,
up into your
that's
mind.
so true.
All right. So yeah, I haven't I live in California, yeah, but I think most celebrity sightings you're gonna get down in like SoCal. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
you know, Bismarck G and Chubby Checker are way bigger names than anyone I've met or even seen probably. So I kind of wrote down a list. It's a lot of internet people and video game people, of course. But topping it off, one time I went to Universal Studios down in LA, and Mario Lopez was there shooting some show. I don't know what show he does,
Shout
but
out.
yeah, I saw him in person. He looks like Mario Lopez.
Yeah, imagine that.
So yeah, that's like the only celebrity I've ever seen in person. Pretty sure. Everyone else is just like, when I went to PSX a couple years ago, I met Shu,
Shoe?
and yeah,
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah. So I have a picture with him, and I got his autograph on like the playing cards that they hand out at PSX,
Oh, that's awesome.
and I ran into Adam Boyes, and I want to say he was walking with Sean Layden, like on the bottom floor, and we were like walking into the thing together.
Hmm.
But it was definitely Adam Boyes. I don't remember who else was with him. And then yeah, kind of funny live 3. I just happened to walk in out of the merch line into the crowd and was standing right next to Max Landis for like the first hour or so.
Oh, wow. I thought he was
So,
like up in
yeah.
the top.
He went there after like all the intros and everything,
Oh, okay.
but
Okay.
yeah, he was there for the beginning, and he like before everyone came out, he would like lean over and point to like the corner or whatever and say like, "Hey, you better watch over here, something's gonna happen." So that was pretty cool.
He was so weird because we were just like waiting in line outside before the show started, and all of a sudden he just comes like running down the alley. I'm like, what the fuck? That's Max Landis. Like what?
Yeah.
Like what the hell? Like it was so out of nowhere.
And I didn't even notice because like he shaved his head and everything, and I
Yeah.
had no clue. Like
you
to
were
me,
expecting,
Max
like,
Landis
rainbow?
has he has rainbow hair, but I guess he's bald now, so that's
Yeah,
cool.
it was so weird. Yeah, it's just like what the fuck? That's Max Landis. And then I saw him up in the top. Yeah, that's the thing. Like personally, like I'd much rather meet like Shu or any of those guys more than like most like mainstream celebrities. But that's just because they're
Nah,
They
I've
mean more
totally
to us. Yeah, they mean more to us.
yeah, exactly.
like I'd rather meet Todd Howard than freaking any mainstream actor, actress, or music star any day.
I'd
Yeah.
love to just have a meal with Todd Howard and just talk to him. I feel like he'd be really
Get all
interesting.
the secrets.
Well, not just that, but
I
just
would
I don't
just
know.
be like, why are you remastering Skyrim so much? You could do so many other cool things.
I think that's more of an intervention.
Yeah, that's like we need to Todd. We need to talk. Like I love
We don't
Skyrim,
need VR
but
Skyrim.
come on. I mean, I
You
feel like
said it
that one's
just
good.
worked when it clearly doesn't just work.
It doesn't just work. Like I can't put together fence pieces correctly. Anyway, yeah, Todd Howard, he'd be really interesting to talk to. I just got an idea for a topic, so I won't go any more into that. Yeah, like I met, like me and Micah, we went to Wings during that whole trip, and Greg was there, Greg with his wife, and we just kind of hung out with him and talked. But that's really like the closest thing I can have. Which again, like
I want to meet him so bad.
like he's super cool. Like he's like one of the most genuine guys you can talk to. Like he's great, and like I said, like that meant way more to me than if I were to meet like some like big name celebrity.
Yeah, I wish I wasn't at work doing like you guys are always like doing shit, and I was seeing it on Facebook, and I was sitting there in the office. I was like,
Yeah, you probably
like
would have been with
25
us.
miles away from me. That's
I know you're like, yeah, and you were saying like, how you wanted to come the whole time. But yeah, you probably would have been with us
Yeah.
when we did that. And so yeah, he
yeah,
was just
I
there.
probably would have, but I was just like tired after work.
Yeah, absolutely. I miss Wings. I really do.
Yeah. Wings was great. The whole experience was great.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, my list is mostly like internet people, video game people.
Yeah, and like obviously at the IGN tour saw a ton of people. that I respect.
Yeah, that'd be great because I've been watching IGN since I was like a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
mean,
same.
that's like how I found, Greg and Colin and Goldfarb and Brian.
You know how fucking crazy it was to see like the Beyond Room, like the old podcast
Oh my
studio.
God, I would have cried.
Oh, it was so
That like
cool.
would have been way too much for me to
It
handle.
was really cool. Highly recommend if you can get down there. But
I plan on it eventually.
yeah, it was a great trip,
It's a fun
especially
time.
especially that tour and like that the Friday like with the IGN tour and just the meetups and then yeah and then the heel kick was awesome. What a great day.
One celebrity sighting, I can't say I saw this person, but I'm pretty sure, she was in this car. I was in an Uber one time, driving home, I think, and this black SUV with, tinted windows and everything drives by, and the license plate says Tina Fey. So I gotta imagine, Tina Fey just drove by me.
She's just rocking around with the
Or
fucking
it's
license
just the
plate.
ultimate troll.
It's
Like,
got to be a troll, right?
I don't know. I feel like
I would so do that.
She
If it was genuine, wouldn't that pose kind of a risk?
maybe the windows were like bulletproof and stuff too. I don't know.
I don't know if she
It was
needs
a pretty,
bulletproof windows.
It looked like something the president would drive in.
I feel like if
It's just a
anybody would
big
do
black
that, she
SUV.
would. Like she would.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense. I don't know. That's
Why I
crazy
gotta
though.
believe it's her.
We need to get to the bottom of that. Just like, does Tina
Who-
Fey drive?
Yeah, who has a California license plate that says Tina
Tina
Fey?
Oh, Tina Fey. God, that'd be so funny if it was just her. She's just trolling everybody. I haven't
Yeah.
personally seen them, but a few like big profile people live in Sun Valley, in Idaho. Like Bruce Willis owns a bunch of businesses and houses, and also before he passed, Adam West he owned a house up there.
Right.
Yeah, unfortunately. So I guess he's like he's such an asshole, like Bruce Willis. Like to everyone,
I
like
believe that.
everyone that he hired, like for all of his like restaurants or whatever, like he's just like such a dick. So yeah, I don't really care to meet him because all I've heard is negative. Like go Google the Kevin Smith Bruce Willis story. Like that'll really get to the bottom of how he is and how he acts, which is unfortunate because he's in so many good movies. But that's really
I
all.
almost met Selena Gomez. Back when she was like still on Disney Channel and like just started her music career. My dad was really good friends with this guy that used to like his job was to literally be the chauffeur for these celebrities when they would come and perform at this certain venue.
Mm.
And he was like the person he was driving around that day was Selena Gomez. And he like asked my dad, like, hey, does Emma or either one of my brothers like want to meet like Selena Gomez? And my dad was like, oh no, I don't think she really knows who that is or really cares about that, Like he told me that and I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like that would have been so cool. I mean,
Thanks,
was it
Dad.
really... Right, Selena Gomez is freaking awesome. She still is, but even back then, I mean. And then the next day he drove around Kesha. 2 opportunities missed.
That's crazy.
So just don't trust your dad to like handle any of these
Oh,
ever
right.
again.
He's the one that sold Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights because he thought I didn't play it.
You just like resent him forever for that.
I came downstairs and I was like, Dad, where's this game? He's like, oh, I sold that. I didn't think you played it. I was like, what? He sold like 3 PlayStation 2 games because he didn't think I played it.
Wow. Do we need to get you a copy of that?
He actually rebought it for me and I got it for my 13th birthday.
Oh,
and I
nice.
still own that copy.
Okay, good. It's like,
Great game.
All is
Great
right.
freaking game.
was that PS2?
Yes, PS2.
I want to say I played that as on a demo in Toys R Us one time, like when it came out.
I think that one only came out on PS2 because I think like Mystery Mayhem came out on Xbox, but I think Night of 100 Frights was only PS2.
100 Frights. I mean, I'm sure there was several. Yeah, I recognize this. Absolutely.
It was like amazing. It was like when like all the like members of the gang or whatever, you know, got like kidnapped by different iconic villains, and you had to like go and rescue them and like fight these different iconic Scooby-Doo villains.
Are they iconic? Do we know that for a fact?
They are iconic.
Okay.
Very
okay.
iconic.
The Green Man, the
Yeah, you have the
scuba guy.
yeah, the like Geronimo was there, the Knight, which was like the very first episode of Scooby-Doo Where Are You was like that Knight. He was like the
I
one that
remember
like
that.
kidnapped Velma.
Yeah, I remember that one. I couldn't. Besides that one, I don't think I could name any.
The Creeper.
Okay, I do remember that.
Yeah, the
You could
Creeper,
actually
that's
like
his name.
unlock tokens and like unlock like those villains in this like hall of villains. It was like really cool. Oh, it came out on GameCube too. I'm gonna have to get that for my GameCube. Oh, I think it did come out on Xbox.
There's also Mystery Mayhem. Apparently.
Yeah, I had Mystery Mayhem on the Xbox and the Game Boy Advance.
I assume they were very different.
Two games on the Game
Oh
Boy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, even when I was
It
little, I
came-
never really cared for
that's so
Scooby Doo. I
weird.
don't know.
Mystery Mayhem came out in 2003 for the Game Boy Advance and didn't come out till 2004 for everything else.
Shout out to
I love
Scooby Doo.
Scooby-Doo. I still freaking love Scooby-Doo. It's great.
It's. I'm glad it exists. I just personally never really took to it.
Both the Scooby-Doo live action movies were pretty good.
Were they?
I was not a
Scooby Doo
fan.
2 is
at
really
all.
good.
I like them.
We might, let's do a commentary on one of those.
Like, give me, you know, Scooby-Doo on
I'll do
Zombie
it.
Island or Cyber Chase.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
those
any
are
of those,
good, too.
yeah, those are legitimately great
Yeah,
movies.
those were good.
I'll
Scooby-Doo
wait.
on Zombie Island is still one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life.
One when I was
And I'll
a kid,
take it to my grave.
kind of freaked me out. Not gonna lie.
Oh, it's extremely creepy. I
Yeah.
mean, when the first Morgan Moonscar, I think that was his name, when Scooby and Shaggy fall in that pit and like the bones fall out and he starts like reanimating, that is terrifying.
Honestly, it was. Out of all
Even like the picture, like there's that whole scene where the ghost is writing on the wall. The ghost is scary as crap. Like even to this day.
It's nightmare fuel.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, there's some detailed zombies in that movie for a children's movie.
Oh yeah, it scared the crap out of me as a kid, and I loved it so much.
How long until they do like a Scooby Doo reboot movie?
they rebooted like every.
They did because they rebooted the Mystery Incorporated, and then they did another live action movie that like corresponded with Mystery Incorporated, but it wasn't good.
Yeah, there's been some on like Cartoon Network, like TV movies.
I'm just like waiting for like the Power Ranger style, like PG-13, like overly mature Scooby Doo
God.
reboot.
I just like Googled Morgan Moonscar, and it's bringing back like it's still genuinely terrifying to me.
Let me see. Yeah, I can see that. It's pretty creepy.
Yeah, I don't think Scooby Doo's getting that reboot anytime soon.
It's got to happen eventually.
I
Right?
don't know. They're never gonna find a better Shaggy.
Yeah, he was
Never.
kind of perfect casting, wasn't he?
He does the voice for the cartoons. Like ever since the movie, he's been the voice of Shaggy.
Mark Hamill actually voiced a character in Zombie Island.
Which
Really?
one?
Shout out to my dude. Mark Hamill.
He voiced that that really weird guy that had the hog,
That had the.
and he was
hog.
kind of like this sketch character, and he had the pet hog. He was like a fisherman.
Been
Was he
so
one of the
long,
cat
I don't
people?
remember. I haven't
Right,
seen-
talk about like a major plot twist in the movie. Like the zombies actually ended up being like the good guys.
It's fucking spoilers, Jesus.
Okay, that movie came out in the 90s.
I was just about to watch that tomorrow.
It won't ruin it for you.
Yeah, I haven't thought about Scooby Doo in so many years.
Same.
1998.
Yeah, I was
Just watch all
There's
those
like
90 movies if you want to see some great films.
some quality filmmaking.
That
Oh, yeah.
opening song, though. It's terror time again. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that movie. It's like
Yeah.
it's bringing back too many memories.
Give us-
Zombie Island's got to be the best Scooby-Doo movie ever made.
Oh, the best Scooby-Doo content ever made. I mean,
I agree with that too. Although Scooby-Doo meets Batman and Robin, pretty classic.
See, that I remember very
oh
clearly.
yes. Oh my god, it's too good.
I remember that.
I still have it on DVD.
Shout out to the Scooby-Doo / Johnny Bravo crossover.
What?
Scooby-Doo meets Sonny
That's
and
super
Cher.
weird and random. Didn't Scooby Doo meet John Cena at one point?
Probably.
I'm sure he met the whole WWE crew.
Just Google Scooby Doo John Cena and there's a clip where it has the song and everything. It's pretty great. He's like,
The name of the character Mark Hamill voiced in Zombie Island is called Snakebite Scruggs.
your boy.
Your boy, Snakebite Scruggs.
What a name.
Just rolls off the
What's
tongue,
Yeah, he
up?
was
doesn't it?
like, the creepy guy that they kind of made it seem like was really the bad guy, but he really wasn't.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah, like John Cena like stops a boulder from crushing them all, like with his own strength, because he's that strong.
He's
Wow.
very strong. I
Uh,
didn't know. Okay, they still make Flintstones content, and
They
John
do.
Cena is in a Flintstones movie.
What?
What?
He's fighting Fred Flintstone, I believe,
Is this canon?
but he's still. I guess so.
Oh my gosh, look at that. Okay,
I think
was
the
he just
Undertaker's in this too.
Was he just Stone Age SmackDown?
Yeah, that
Flintstones
looks like
in
the
WWE?
Undertaker.
Yeah, no, that's
Oh my
Undertaker.
God.
Where isn't John Cena?
Honestly,
I mean,
the more John Cena I see,
he-
the better my life gets.
he's everywhere, but at the same time, he's nowhere.
Because you can't see him, right? John
Yeah,
Cena.
you can't
Okay,
see him.
so his name is John Cena Stone because Flintstones. Clever.
Okay.
John Cena Stone.
I still quote that prank call that started it all.
It's so good. It's so good.
It's such gold.
If anyone hasn't seen that, go watch that video right now. I
My
don't know how
favorite
that's
part
not
is the
possible.
whole they call and she freaks out on him and she's like, "Oh, I was just calling to see if you're a supporter of the United States military."
Oh, I'm so
no.
sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Well, a member of the United States Marine Corps needs your help this Sunday night. So good. It's so good.
I need to check that out.
Oh, you haven't heard that? Oh my gosh, dude, you're in for a
Oh,
treat.
dude,
So-
it is.
It's one of the best videos ever made.
gold.
I don't know if it's fake or not, but even if it is, like, it's still so funny.
I really don't think it is.
She seems so pissed off, or she's just a really good
Yeah.
actress. We are not having any fucking wrestling in this fucking house. Oh, it's so good.
I'll take all the John Cena content I can get.
Yeah, no, this is the top John Cena content that you're available.
All right.
Highly recommend. Any other celebrity
Still,
encounters?
like every once in a while, in a blue moon, I'll like watch a video on YouTube and it ends up being a John Cena meme, and it makes me very happy.
It's like it's one of those things that doesn't really get annoying to me. Like I actually think it's kind of funny, but a lot of people it makes a lot of people mad. But there's a special place in my heart for John Cena memes. Keep
Man,
making
I
them.
have. If you love John Cena memes, next time I'm recommending something, I got the perfect thing for you.
Perfect.
Shout out to John Cena.
That's right.
Shout out to John Cena.
Emma, what's your topic?
So a couple days ago, I just found myself thinking about how I have a lot of quote unquote unpopular opinions on anything, on like anything really. And I started thinking specifically opinions that I have that aren't necessarily like mainstream opinions when it comes to like video games and stuff. So like what you would call like unpopular or against the norm, like video game opinions on video games and stuff. So I made a list of just a couple that could be considered like unpopular gaming opinions. So like I'll just go through them real quick. Halo 3 ODST is my favorite Halo game. It's the best Halo game. And of course that was, if you ask like almost anyone, they'll say that it's the worst.
They're
But
crazy.
it is by far my favorite. I don't understand how people cannot like love this game. The storytelling is amazing. The music is amazing. The whole atmosphere of New Mombasa is just great, in my opinion, anyway.
I wouldn't give it the number one, but damn, is it good.
Another one I have is Fallout 4 is better than Fallout 3. And I know a lot of people did not like Fallout 4. I loved Fallout 4. And I love Fallout 3. New Vegas will always be my favorite.
Okay, I'll allow
But, and I love Fallout 3. But for some reason, I liked some of the changes they had in Fallout 4. I like the art style. I like the music. I know a lot of people didn't like the whole Mass Effect style of dialogue, but I personally loved it. The story, you know, subpar, but the story was also kind of subpar in Fallout 3 as well. So
There was
Hey, I
just
found
no
my son.
urgency. You gotta. Yeah, it was too urgent. Actually, is what I meant. Like it doesn't support a giant open world with farming and base building and all these myriad of quests. You could just
Yeah.
like ignore your son for forever.
And that is true, obviously. It does have its issues. But, like, I think if I was faced with, like, you know, do you want to play Fallout 4 or do you want to play Fallout 3? I'll always pick Fallout 4.
Fallout 4 is just so smooth.
But the role
And,
playing, man.
It got such crap for, like, the way it looked. And, like, for me, I was just like, Fallout, it's not supposed to look realistic. Like, it's not supposed to be this, like, simulation. Like, and look, like, super realistic. It's, like, it's always been that kind of cartoony kind of. I just think it fits. The art style for Fallout 4 fits with what Fallout 4 is, to me, anyway.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a 50s, like dramatized, like over the top.
What it reminded me of, I say bright colors, but I mean if you compare Fallout 4 to Fallout 3, it's got some bright colors.
Yeah, I like how
And
that there was the dynamic between like the irradiated zones in like the south of the map, and then also you have like the
Right.
bright colors in the north. I thought the color palette was a lot better.
That's like the one issue I have with like Fallout 3 is all like greenish gray. Like everything is greenish gray.
Yep.
New Vegas, everything is brown, you know.
Orange, yeah.
But I just think Fallout 3 or Fallout 4, I like the color scheme in it. Another one I have is a trigger warning for you specifically, Max, and probably everybody else in
Oh,
here.
here we go.
Ooh, Last of Us.
It does have to do with The Last of Us.
Oh fuck.
I love The Last of Us. It's a really good game, but I think it's extremely overrated.
What?
That cuts deep.
People
Yeah.
people say, you know, it's the best game like ever made. It is superb storytelling.
That yeah.
I do think that the story is better than like any video game story I've ever played, well, except for Coder. But it's like it has an amazing story. The gameplay is good, and it is a really, really good game. I just think that it is overrated.
Yeah, I am inclined to agree with you on this one. Like, I love it. Like, it's great, but I wasn't completely blown away by it. Like it took time to really think about it to appreciate it for me. Like, I wouldn't put it even probably in my top 5 games. Honestly.
Yeah, neither would I. Like, I would never consider it. It would never even be in the running for any type of my favorite games list at all. It just didn't resonate
Wow.
with me in that way.
Don't
guess.
get me wrong, it's fantastic. Like it's
Right.
but
Right.
it's-
I'm in no way bashing the game or saying it's not good or anything because I do think it's amazing. I just like, I don't know. It just didn't resonate with me the way it did for a lot of other people.
It's not even my favorite PS3 game. Like I don't know.
Wow.
Same. That's a Jack and Diana collection, but you know,
It does-
not really.
uh,
Anyway,
whatever.
I'll
The
agree with the
one I
Last
have
of Us
is-
thing, specifically the
Uh-huh.
giraffe scene. That's all I gotta say.
In
Ooh.
what sense?
The one time I
It,
used that
it didn't really matter to me.
take a picture or whatever, that I like took a picture of the giraffe scene.
It was a sweet little moment.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
people like bursting into tears when it happened.
No,
like
I
Yeah, that's
don't.
not even like the saddest part. Like, there's way more like cry-worthy moments.
Even the beginning, like the beginning is sad, but I never cried. You
Yeah, me
know,
either. Am I a monster for
It
that?
was one of those things like I
no,
knew
it
it
was
was
fucked
gonna
up, but you don't have to cry.
happen. I just knew it was gonna happen, so I was
I
prepared.
didn't cry. I didn't cry either. But like actor like Troy Baker, there's like a video, a documentary thingy, where he was saying that he was trying like so hard, and that Neil was just like, no, this is not what the scene needs. It's just crazy, like how much goes into the game, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
and Troy Baker,
Yeah.
fantastic, best of the best. All respect to him. He is amazing.
I hope you guys were able to watch the his 2 streams in the last couple nights from the time that we were recording this, where he was on Instagram just playing music. It was fantastic. He's
Yeah.
so talented.
He's such like a chill, cool dude. Like
Totally.
he's so freaking awesome. Anyway, I also have on here, I hate Overwatch. I hate it.
Hate it. Okay, that's really strong. All right.
I am not a fan. I've tried so hard, but it is just 100% not my type of game at all. And it's
Man.
Is it 'cause
sad
it's
because
like-
there is such a big community. You know, people freaking love that game. People are losing their minds over Overwatch. It's like the biggest craze right now. But
I
I
love
just,
that game too much, in my opinion.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
it reminds me of like Counter-Strike. I can never get into Counter-Strike either. It
You
was
had to
like
be
these
there,
two
I
these
think.
games were like taking the world by storm, you know, and I just could not. And I think for me personally, I love first-person shooters. I know like you guys don't really necessarily like them as much as I do, but like I've been playing them for a long time, and I like the more, I always say military-based shooters like Call of Duty, Battlefield and stuff, but I do love Halo. But that's like,
That's military too.
That's
I know.
space military.
right, I would consider, yeah, Halo more of a it's not like Overwatch. Like, did you guys play Blacklight Retribution? It was like that free game that was on PS4.
Yeah.
I hated it. Like, it was so bad. And when I was playing Overwatch, it just reminded me of that in a way.
Overwatch
And
is
I
so
was
much
just
better than
like-
Blacklight, though.
No, I even agree with that.
Okay.
Blacklight is garbage.
Okay.
But it was just that sort of game, I think, with like the, you know, the crazy weapon stuff and the
Yeah, it's
different
just
characters and everything.
the abilities probably throws you off.
Just right abilities. They're like,
Just not
I just
like a
don't-
class of guns, and then you just go at it.
Right,
It's
like,
like,
let
no,
me pick
you,
my
you-
gun and
They're heroes.
yeah, you need like an actual like team with a healer and a tank, blah 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 blah, and then
yeah, just not my type of game. I get so much crap for not liking Overwatch. I don't know if it's just the people that I know that play Overwatch, or if the majority of the Overwatch fan base is like just awful people. But
I'd
I
go with
get,
the
like,
latter. There's some pretty.
I
it's
just
pretty
get
toxic.
such crap for not liking Overwatch. I'm like, you guys give me such crap for not liking Call of Duty, and I'm not like up your rear ends about it, you know? But God forbid I say that I don't like Overwatch. But anyway,
Interesting.
I also have on here that Call of Duty Ghosts was not a bad game.
All right, hold the phone.
That game got so much crap.
It's
But
bad.
in my mind, when Ghost came out, it was bad compared to the other Call of Duties that were out. But I have a appreciation for Ghost now because of all the BS Call of Duty games that have come out since then. All this exo boosting bullcrap, I cannot stand it.
It's just so
And I look
forgettable.
back and I'm like, Ghost is very forgettable. But it was like, I look at it now and I see it as it was the last like boots on ground Call of Duty. And World War II is getting ready to come out. I'm super excited for it. I think it's going to be great.
And the dog.
but-
What about the dog? And the fish AI.
How was the dog in that game?
The dog's name is Riley.
I honestly couldn't remember.
So many. They tried so hard in that game. They got like a novelist to like write the story, you know,
Yeah.
and it ended on this big cliffhanger that they're obviously never going to go back to
Yeah, that
because
universe is dead.
for some reason, everybody hated this game. What was I can't even. Black Ops 2? Was Black Ops 2 the game that came out before Ghost?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the one right before it.
Yeah, it was. Yes, it was Black Ops 2 because this was back when it was on the 2-year cycle with just Infinity Ward and Treyarch.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
So it would have been Black Ops, then Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2, Ghost.
I think the
Maybe
thing
it
is,
was-
people didn't like Modern Warfare 3 that much, so they just didn't like Infinity Ward, maybe.
Maybe. I liked Modern
Yeah,
Warfare 3,
And I get that.
and I still didn't like Ghosts.
I like Modern Warfare 3 was essentially like a $60 expansion of Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
But I personally like Modern Warfare 3 better than Modern Warfare 2. I
Now
guess that can be
that's-
considered
that's
another
an
unpopular opinion.
That's a really
because
good one.
right, because everybody's favorite Call of Duty is Modern Warfare 2. Not for me. Black
Or
Ops
1.
1 takes the cake for
Black
me.
Ops
Best
1.
Call of Duty.
Yeah.
I can only speak from someone who really likes the campaigns, but yeah, Black Ops 1 even still is my favorite.
But a lot of people just, and I think nowadays it's like people like to hate on Ghosts. I didn't think it was bad though. All right, this next one. It's like hardcore Mario fans.
Oh, I have some
Am
Mario
I about
hot
to am I
takes
about to get
coming up.
triggered?
Maybe, I don't know. I've never been like a huge Mario gamer. I've played like almost all the games though. And I'm about to say my favorite Mario game, which is considered the worst Mario game,
Here we go.
Super Mario Land.
Really?
Yes.
That's interesting.
I love that game. I still play that game on my
Okay.
Game Boy. Still to this day. Like I played it like yesterday.
Huh.
I freaking love Super Mario Land. But like I never realized that it was this like game that everybody hated up until like maybe a year or two ago when I just saw some like YouTube video and they were just talking about how awful that game is.
It's not
And I
bad.
thought that was interesting. I just really like Super Mario Land.
I haven't even thought about that game.
I
in a
mean,
while.
there's really only 2 Mario games I really like, and it's Super Mario Land and like every version of Mario Kart because I love Mario Kart.
What about World? How do you come down on World?
Yeah, and the thing with Super Mario World is I never owned a SNES. So like I've obviously like played it before and I've played Super Mario World, but it was never something that I owned and played as a kid. So I completely missed out on that whole like same with N64. Like I still have never owned an N64. It's one of the only consoles I don't own. So like I never grew up playing like Zelda or anything. I didn't play The Legend of Zelda until I was 17
Wow.
when I got Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask on my 3DS and I played it for the first time. And
How did
now
you
I'm
like
like
those
a
the first
huge
time?
freaking Zelda fan.
'Cause those are great ports.
I was completely. The ports are amazing, like amazing. I think what really made me obsessed with them is because it is like an old school platformer, and I hadn't played because you're essentially playing a newer. It's an old game just on like a newer type system.
Yeah.
So it was an experience that I'd never had before, but it made me feel like a little kid again playing those games. And that was something that was really special because I freaking love 3D platformers. That's all I used to play as a kid. And I played them. And it was one of those things like I knew I would love those games. I just never had any means of playing them.
Gotcha.
So I bought a 3DS specifically to play the Zelda games.
Good enough reason as
And
any.
it was one of the best decisions I've ever made. I mean, those games are phenomenal on the 3DS. And I own like the collections on the GameCube now.
Did you play Wind
And
Waker?
I have played bits and pieces of Wind Waker. I'm going to get Wind Waker, I think, because I want to play Wind Waker and Twilight Princess on my GameCube, but they're so freaking expensive on the GameCube.
Yeah, good luck.
So, like, they're both over $65 on GameCube. I can go pick up Wind Waker HD for $20 for the Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'll end up doing. And I think Twilight Princess on the Wii U is still like 60. But that's what I'll end up doing. It's just a matter of the time right now. I still haven't even beaten Breath of the Wild. I've beaten all I need to do is fight Ganon, the final boss battle.
Yeah.
But I kind of want to do everything else in the game first, beat all the shrines and everything before I just go do that.
There's a lot of shrines.
So it's just a matter of timing for me. But man, Zelda's just good. If you ain't played the Zelda game, do it. Like, do yourself a favor. They're amazing.
I have not played a Zelda game.
Oh, man, dude, you're missing out on so much.
I'm like not in the Nintendo ecosystem at all. Besides Pokemon.
That's kind of like the outlier though. Like even like if you're not like even people that aren't really into games much love Pokemon. So it's
Yeah.
My mom loves Pokemon.
But I haven't played Pokemon since Ruby. So
it's been a while.
Hey, that's all right. That's not bad.
I mean, Ruby is really good, but the new games, they're not half bad. New games are good. I mean, I like them anyway.
Zelda was kind of
my favorite.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
My favorite Pokemon game is still Yellow.
Yellow?
Oh, of course. Yellow
It's
is
just a classic for me.
Yeah.
I love Pokemon Yellow.
I was gonna say Zelda really was one of the first games that I really latched onto. Like the first game I can remember in my memory was Ocarina of Time, so it's always kind of been there. And I've kind of grown up with the series as long as it's went, and that's why I kind of prefer the 3D ones, just because that's I'm accustomed to. Not that I don't like the 2D ones; I think they're great. But yeah, I was lucky enough to get Twilight Princess on GameCube when it came out, so I avoided that whole thing. But yeah, now if you try to get it, it's like super expensive.
Yeah, it's like $65 at vintage stock, and it's just like, why would I pay $65 for the GameCube version when I can pay $60 and get the HD for the Wii U?
With the Wii U, yeah, definitely.
Right, even though I would love to have the GameCube versions, it's just not practical. I already paid $65 for Melee, and even then, like, I'm still just kind of like, why did I do that? But like,
that's kind of worth
Melee.
it. That's kind of worth it. I want Wind Waker HD on the Switch so bad.
Right.
I want everything
like,
on the Wii U to come to the Switch.
Exactly.
Right. If they can just, that's like the one reason why I'm still not completely sold on the Switch yet. If they make it to where I can play those games, oh my God, it would be, so many more people would buy one. I feel like.
Absolutely. Like they need to get Smash. They need to get if they can just get the Wii U library onto Switch, that'd be great. Man, I want to play Wind Waker again so bad, and the HD one looks so beautiful.
Oh yeah, it's gorgeous. I have a friend that has it, and it's just the art style is beautiful.
That's my favorite one, honestly.
Everything
people
about that game.
There's kind of some revisionist history with Wind Waker, but that's still my favorite one to this day, even with Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild is freaking amazing, but I can't say that it's my favorite. I would probably still have to say Majora's Mask.
Yeah. It's for me. It's Wind Waker, Majora's Mask, kind of neck and neck.
For me, it's got to be A Link to the Past on Game Boy Advance.
That's also a really good one.
That's a really good one.
I love
yeah.
Link to the Past.
Yeah.
That's the first ever Legend of Zelda game I played, so it's really nostalgic.
Yeah, I'm sure that had a pretty big effect on it too.
Mm-hmm. And then when A Link Between Worlds came out, the nostalgia went like through the roof.
Right, it's
Great
like a
game.
modern version of those 2D Zelda games.
It's like the map already from like the back of your hand.
Yeah, exactly. I knew like the exact, like I knew like everything, and I was like, wow, this game is really good.
Link Between Worlds also put out arguably the most beautiful poster for a video game I've ever seen in my life. And it's like the one where like Link's looking at the castle and it's like all beautiful, but then in the reflection of the lake, it's like that underworld. It is such a freaking beautiful poster. Oh my God.
Oh, that is really gorgeous.
It's a beautiful game too.
Great
I
game.
have one more on this list, and that's just that I think Oblivion is so much better than Skyrim.
What?
Yep.
No. I mean, I love
Hot
Oblivion.
takes.
I love Oblivion, but it's so derpy now.
But I love the derpy charm of Oblivion.
I can't deny
Like,
the
what-
derpy charm, but man, Skyrim it's so much just.
Just the issue I just feel Oblivion, it has better music. The main story specifically is better, even though it's way more annoying.
Yeah.
I like the cities better. Like the diversity of the cities of Cyrodiil are just far superior than the cities in Skyrim. And I get that it's like they're different countries. Skyrim's very cold and harsh, and Cyrodiil is very, you have cities like Shaden
It's
Hall,
the capital.
where it's like Victorian era, and there's something about Oblivion that when I just play Skyrim, I'm always thinking in my head, like, I'd much rather be playing Oblivion right now.
You're very much not alone in this. But
There's so many people out there that like Oblivion better, and I really wish that, because like my brothers won't even give Oblivion a chance because they look and they're like, well, this game is really ugly. They can't get over that it's
pretty ugly.
dated.
It's
That
pretty
it is a dated game.
Yeah.
And that's why when there was rumors of like the Skyrim remaster, I was like, please do like an HD trilogy, Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim.
I
Like
mean,
Skyrim did
modders are
not
doing it.
need that. Like Oblivion is a game that a bunch of people missed out on. Sorry, Morrowind specifically. Like, I didn't play Morrowind as a kid. It was like, I feel like it was like the people that were like, 2 years older than me, really got into Morrowind.
Yeah.
I never really got into Morrowind. I've tried to go back and play it since then, but I played the Xbox version and it was like impossible.
It's really hard.
I had like a knife and I was getting like 2-hit killed by this stupid rat, like right at the very beginning. And I was just like, I can't do this.
Yeah, that combat system is really difficult to go back to because it's much more like dice rolly. Like, even though you're hitting like the enemy, like it doesn't always hit. Like in fact, like when you just start out, it barely ever hits. So you just get creamed until you get your blade skill up. Yeah, it's rough.
I just feel like a lot of people missed out on those games that are quote unquote defining. Morrowind was one of the very first games like it.
Huge game.
If it wasn't for Morrowind, there would be no Skyrim, there would be no Fallout 3 or anything like that.
I feel like open
And
world
Oblivion
RPGs
was a
would be
big
way
segue
different.
too.
Yeah. I don't know. Have you checked out Sky Oblivion at all?
No,
it's
is that on?
It's a mod
PC?
project. Yeah, it's on PC. It's basically a team of modders are going back and remaking the entirety of Oblivion in the Skyrim engine, and it looks awesome. Like they're staying very true to the vision of Oblivion and kind of that same style, but with the mechanics and
I
aesthetic
think
of
I've
Skyrim.
definitely seen pictures. And yeah, it is gorgeous.
And they're doing the same with Morrowind too, which I think I'm actually more excited about than Oblivion. Just because I really like the world of Morrowind. It's super like interesting aesthetic to it. But yeah, it's mechanically it's just hard to go back to.
But yeah, like, do you guys have any opinions that are quote unquote unpopular about video games?
You kind of touched on it earlier, but mine, I don't think Breath of the Wild is a 10, and I've gotten shit about this online from people saying, "Oh no, it's perfect in every way." I'm like,
On the Facebook group.
on the Facebook group and just on Twitter, just with random people. Like, I've tried to explain that what I don't like about it. I like the idea of the durability system. I just think they went way too overboard with it.
Yeah, especially in the beginning. I mean, it's like so freaking annoying in the beginning. Like, and then of course once you get the Master Sword, like it doesn't break, but it like runs out of energy.
Yeah, it breaks and then it comes back after a few minutes. Yeah, it's just I don't know that game.
I wouldn't give it a 10 either. I give it, it is one of my favorites. I mean, it is a good game, but I wouldn't say there's only a couple games I would ever even give a 10,
Yeah.
Because for me, like, if you're going to give a game a 10 out of 10, that means it's, like, perfect. Like, and there's no game that is perfect.
Yeah,
There's something that can always be better.
that's why 10 really can't mean perfect, even though that's like, in terms of a scale, that's what makes sense. There's more about Breath of the Wild that I like than I don't. So it's hard for me to, well, it's not hard for me to criticize. It's just hard for me to like get my argument out there sometimes because I don't like the weapon durability. I think the voice acting is really bad, personally. It's almost all of the lines are just not well done in my opinion. The I know this was purposeful, and I know like Hyrule is supposed to be like a kind of a pseudo post-apocalyptic wasteland, but it just really feels lifeless a lot of the time. Um, I wish there was just more NPCs around, maybe just like convoys of people with wagons and horses or whatever else. I know that was
Yeah,
intentional. I know that was intentional. I hope we see like a game like this with a little bit more life in it. And I like the idea of the post-apocalyptic Hyrule, but with how big it is, it's just you're alone a lot of the time. And what I liked in the past Zeldas is running into all these crazy NPCs and talking to them and hearing what they have to say. Also, just the general story. While I like the premise, I just don't think it was executed very well. And also just I like the shrines. I really like the shrines. I like how bite-sized they are, but they all look aesthetically the same. And I wish that they differentiated them in the interiors by what biome you're in Hyrule. So like if you're in the desert, I wish there was a little bit more desert theme. And I know like there's some like with lava, like when you're near Death Mountain, but they just all looked pretty much identical. And I feel like they could have done a lot more with the aesthetics of it, even though it's like supposed to be mechanical and futuristic. But there's a lot of very small nitpicks I have with it that keeps me from making it a 10, even though I really do enjoy it.
I love the music in that game.
Oh yeah.
I don't think they could have done any better. I mean, the music is amazing. I love the way it looks. It's got that like it's almost like a mix between like Wind Waker and Twilight Princess.
And kind of like Skyward
like,
Sword too, in there.
Yeah. It's like realistic but also very cartoony.
Cell shaded, yeah.
I totally get what you're saying with the voice acting though. Like I absolutely despised it at the beginning. By the end, it kind of grew on me. I think it was more just like I accepted the fact that there's voice acting in the game.
Yeah.
And I just wasn't trying to pay that much attention to it. I think they made Zelda as a character kind of, I don't want to say annoying, but she was like a teenage girl. And is she supposed to be, right?
I mean, yeah, it's always different, but I feel like, yeah, she was definitely, like, the weakest and least interesting version of Zelda, because, like,
Yeah.
like, there's been times, she's very much in peril in this game, where a lot of times she, took things to her own initiative. But
No Sheik in this one?
I wish. I mean, there's definitely a lot of Sheikah elements, like, with just the aesthetic of it, but no Sheik, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Kakariko Village is amazing in Breath of the Wild.
Really cool. I really like how they did that. Yeah.
So much better than in the other games.
I like the one in Twilight Princess though. I was like all like a western town, like all dusty.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I really like what they did with it. It's kind of like Asian inspired almost.
All the main cities I think are very well done.
And like I actually just got to the Goron city just now, and I kind of like what they did with that. Even though I miss it being kind of like an interior, so I feel like it makes sense for them to be kind of like burrowed in underground. But that's a small
love
thing.
the Gorons. They're like my favorite. The Goron city like theme from like Ocarina of Time, and it's in Majora's Mask too, is like my favorite Zelda song.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome.
I love it so much.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of other things. I mean, I've made my peace with Shadow of Mordor, as I've talked about a few times now, so I can't really say that anymore.
So it's good, right?
It's good, yeah. Yeah, no, it's good.
All right.
Expectations, everybody. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have too many unpopular opinions. I don't think Batman Arkham Origins is bad in any way. I think it's a great game. It gets a lot of hate. Other than that, I
No,
mean,
it's not- I don't know who thinks it's bad. It's not.
it's not quite up to the level.
Yeah,
but
it doesn't feel right.
I'd rather play that over Arkham Knight at this point, honestly. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I like the boss battles better.
Oh yeah, the boss fights are awesome. Yeah, way
mean,
better.
There were pretty much none in Arkham Knight, so I like the fact that there are boss fights.
It's easy to compare when there's nothing. Yeah, it's hard to think. I'm sure I'll probably think of something like later on, but right now that's kind of recently my hot take that people have gotten mad about.
I will say that like another one for me, and I can't really have like an opinion because I've never made it through the game, but I could not get into The Witcher 3,
Oh man,
and I don't know why,
hurts my heart.
because I feel like I would love it, but I've tried to play it multiple times, both on PS4, on Xbox, and on PC, and I just can't get into it for some reason. I think for me it's so overwhelming.
It is.
Like, I know how big it is, and I know that like I'd have to spend so many hours, and I just think that's like turning me away almost, which is crazy. And I'm obviously not going to sit here and say I don't like the game because I've never really played it. Like I can't have an opinion on it, but I cannot get into it for some reason.
It's a lot of that
I have
is about the world too, like about the lore and like the books and all the fiction involved with it too. And yeah, it is daunting, and it takes a while to really get going with the story. But once it's there, man, like all the side stories are so well done, and it's so much good game for as long as it is.
Is it worth it only for the main story, or do you have to have the side story to
I would say
you know,
I would say so.
fully appreciate it?
Yeah, I think to fully appreciate it, you should have at least a cursory knowledge of what happened in the previous two games, even though he pretty much had amnesia for the entire time, and also just at least a cursory knowledge of the events in the books, because a lot of the what happens in the main story of The Witcher 3 is the culmination of what is happening in the books and the characters that were introduced in the books. So while you don't have to know these things, like it is a lot more satisfying if you know like the extended fiction, which makes it even more daunting for someone who might not know that stuff. Like, you don't necessarily have to read them, but I highly recommend that you do. But yeah, it is worth it for the main story. It's very well done. It's very emotional, but yeah, it relies very much on outside media.
I went into it without, any sort of outside knowledge, like books or anything. So I'm probably playing Geralt as like uncharacteristic as he is normally, but I'm having a good time.
Yeah, it's really, despite being so daunting, they made 3 somehow even more approachable than 1 and 2 are, which is kind of weird. Like, it's huge, but it's also somehow easier to digest.
I think the amnesia thing really helps it because it's like, well, I had amnesia, so I'm not going to be like that how I was before.
Yeah,
Sorry.
exactly. And then that also, led into a lot of the conflicts in 3, especially with his relationship with Yennefer. But yeah, with 2, like at the end of 2, spoilers, he gets his memory back, and then he's like, "Oh shit, I have all this stuff to do," and that's basically what 3 is, just him, catching back up with everyone that he forgot about. Yeah, it's I want to say it's worth it, but yeah, if you're not prepared to spend 60 to 100 hours, then I wouldn't say don't bother. But if you do it, it's fantastic.
Shout out to Sneak King. I freaking love that game.
I remember it very fondly. Probably too fondly.
It is just too hysterical for me to not like it.
There's a kart racer too, right?
Oh yeah, there's 3. There's a trilogy. So I have 2 of them. I have Sneak King and I have Pocket Bike Racer, which is kind of like, dare I say, Mario Kart style Burger King racing game. And then there's one called Big Bumpin'.
I don't even remember that one at all.
Bumper cars, I guess.
Kind of.
I freaking love Sneak King. IGN gave it a 6.7. I didn't even think I knew that.
Really?
Right, that's not even a bad score, really.
It should be like a 4, but what do I know?
The
Wow.
game is a novelty.
You can
I
get it
think
for
everybody
$2.99 at
should-
GameStop.
Novelty.
Right. I think everybody should at least experience it because it is just dumb fun. It's just funny. It's literally a game that just play once. You never have to play it ever again.
Yeah.
Just play it once. Experience what you're supposed to experience and then get rid of it. Like, you don't need it in your life anymore.
I think my dad literally threw it in the trash. I want to say. Like both of them, both the car racer and this one. I just remember like there was like construction workers everywhere,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you're like you're sneaking
Yep.
around. I don't know how far I got, but yeah, I definitely remember getting those. It was something
It's
else.
just very comedical. And I love that. Like, the game obviously is not meant to be taken seriously.
No.
Like, they were literally, I want to say they were given like a couple weeks or something to make this game. I really need to like see how long they were given, but oh my goodness.
So I found a pretty funny little article here on Video Game Underworld. The subtitle is they can actually see him, they just pretend they can't. So they're just like going about their lives with this guy sneaking around.
Well, I mean, the whole concept of the game is so stupid. Like, you have all these people, and they'll like, if they're hungry, then like a burger icon will flash over their heads, and the whole point of the game is to like surprise them with a burger, but only when they like really want to.
You don't want
I
to force
guess.
it. You don't want to force
Right. Like, they can be like starving, and you have your meter, and if you get it, like in the green, then they'll be really happy. But if you like don't, then they'll just like take the burger and just kind of be like, yeah, thanks.
it. Thanks a lot, King.
But like, if you
Thanks.
don't give them a burger in time, then they like flat out like die. They like collapse on the ground.
They don't know how to take care of themselves. You're doing a civic duty.
Well, even just reading the back of the case is comedy gold in and of itself. Or even the like the sleeve on the inside. Let me see if I can.
The game is sneaking. The objective is surprise. Here's your chance to step into the royal shoes of the king and silently unleash your hot sandwiches on the hungry citizens of this famished world. All of your covert gaming skills will be put to the test as you try to fill the role of the slickest sneaker on the planet, the Sneak King. Riveting.
Well, there you go.
Apparently, this is a common
6.7.
speedrunning game too,
Yeah, it is, which is
which
crazy.
is pretty funny.
There's an end to this game.
Yeah, there's like I think 20 missions, if I'm not wrong.
I was actually going to like 100% it just because.
Just to say you can.
Exactly, but it's actually extremely difficult. And I was like, there's no way I can force myself to do this.
You got to be the sneakiest.
You literally have to get like an A+ rating, which is extremely hard, actually. And you have to get like an A+ rating on like every single mission.
I'll be honest, the font on the cover that says Sneak King is really like making me upset.
It's not ideal. I have an idea for the thing.
So hot takes. I got a couple.
Lay 'em on us.
First one, Mario games. I don't really give a dang about.
Oh,
I like
shit.
Mario Kart, but that's it.
I get
Um,
that. I mean, the same way, except for Super Mario Land. It's like the only one that's not Mario Kart that I actually enjoy playing.
But perfect platforming.
But platforming is boring.
Okay,
I
if
hate
you don't
it.
if you don't
Mario-
like platforming in general, I'll give it to you. But it's the pinnacle of platforming.
I guess so. Like I even played Galaxy and stuff, and like I couldn't really get into it. I'll give Odyssey a shot just because why not? But I can't. I'm not excited about it or anything. And I gotta say that kind of extends to Nintendo games in general. Besides Mario Kart, Pokemon, and Smash, I never really get excited for any Nintendo specific games, or like, yeah, I have like
I
a
mean, for
some
like the
fond
same.
memories, but like I don't really care much about Nintendo, to be honest.
So like
Yeah,
they could go third party and
I
you wouldn't
didn't
care.
give a flying crap about Nintendo except for like Smash and Mario Kart until I got into Zelda. But even then, like I only care about Zelda, Smash, and Mario Kart.
Yeah, I played Twilight Princess, and that's the only Zelda game I've really got into, and like it was fine. Uh, I think without like the Zelda name, most of those games wouldn't really get like tens or whatever they get.
The fact that Skyward Sword got tens is absolutely asinine.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind
Whoa,
of.
that
I
game,
think people are biased.
Skyward Sword was a good game.
It was a
It
good
would have
game.
been
It was not
better
a good
without the
Zelda
motion
game. It was
controls,
not a
though.
good Zelda game.
I mean, I liked it.
I liked it at the time too. Like I finished the whole thing. I went through it, but like trying to play it again, like it's pretty rough.
I
I
still
mean,
love Pipit.
the motion controls, yeah, they were not really the best, but like other than that, like the story was pretty good. I mean, granted, I haven't played this game in years, and I only beat it once, but I have fond memories of that game, so I liked it.
All right, I'm just saying, Nintendo, just give me Pokemon and Smash, and I'll be happy.
I feel like
Those are strong.
Nintendo as a whole, as a brand, is very overrated.
Oh yeah,
I
oh
can see
yeah.
that. Yeah, I can give you that.
Another hot take. I'm tired of the old school 8-bit style of games. I know I've just played through Shovel Knight, but like I was really hesitant to buy it. Even it's been out for a couple years, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, like the art style, I didn't like.
You
Like
don't
there's
pixel art.
no, not really, and
Oh,
like they have I forget, like promo images of like actual drawn characters,
Mhm.
and I would so much more like rather play a game that looks like that than pixely stuff.
I gotcha. I feel like yeah, it's kind of a niche thing even now that it's kind of seen a resurgence because it is so hard to do.
It just seems so pointless.
Yeah.
Like they're making it look old to appeal to people who played old games. And I don't know, like you can make a better game.
We
if
have
you
the
spend less
technology.
money. Yeah.
All
I
right.
don't know.
Hot takes.
That's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it.
I got some.
Let's
All
go.
right, so I'm on PSN profiles right now, so I'm looking at all my trophies so I could see all the games I've played. First hot take, Uncharted Golden Abyss. That was probably the most fun Uncharted game I played.
I still think you're a maniac, but continue.
I agree 100% that I freaking love Golden Abyss.
Yeah, we got one.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
That's a fucking hot take if I ever heard one.
There was just something about it. It was just very charming to
I mean,
me.
he had a
Like,
backpack.
Uncharted on the Vita just felt so good, and like playing it at work, like I could play it at work and then play it at home, and like it's Uncharted, so like it just felt really good.
You
And
know
like
what
I
feels
thought
better? Uncharted on PS4.
I
Oh,
thought
yeah.
the story was also really good. Like the side characters and even the villains were pretty cool in my opinion.
It's a good game.
Yeah, Uncharted on PS4 was pretty good.
It's a good game.
Uncharted 3 I think is better than 2.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Definitely.
That's the one I forgot.
Damn, hot take.
Uncharted 3 is so much better than Uncharted 2. It's not even funny. It's like not even. I don't even understand how there's an argument.
Yeah, honestly, I'm right there with you. I don't either. Mafia 3 overall, for what it's worth, it's at least a good game. I know like many people like didn't like it that much, and I'm not gonna lie, it's far from great because it's just so repetitive. But I like that game like for the most part, so I'm gonna say it was at least good.
Not great. I wouldn't give it that. Let's see. Journey. I'm not gonna lie, that game was mad boring.
No, it's so good.
I did not
It's still
enjoy
in my
Journey.
backlog.
It's so good, dude. Damn, that's
I,
a hot
I,
take.
I didn't really like it. Like I was playing it, and I was like, okay, this seems interesting. And then I was like, all right, so when is this game gonna get good? Like everyone said it was. And then like, yeah, I just didn't really enjoy it.
It's too short to be
And
boring.
I don't know. I felt like it took me like an hour to beat that game, and that was an hour too much.
All right, it's hot takes.
Yeah.
I can't get mad at hot takes.
Hot takes. All right, I'm looking down, see if there's anything else. Oh, okay, here we go. Rogue Legacy. I probably didn't give it as much time as I should have, but like I played that game for a few minutes and I'm like, all right, I keep fucking dying. I don't like this.
Yeah, that's kind of the
You're
point,
supposed
though.
to die.
If you don't like that, then that's
Rogue
yeah,
Legacy.
probably
Yeah,
won't like it.
yeah, I know that's like kind of the point, but like I don't know, like I just couldn't get like anywhere in that game. Like
No, yeah,
like I
get
should
it.
probably give it another try because everyone says that it's like really good and stuff. So maybe at some point I will try to go back to it. But yeah, Rogue Legacy. First impressions, not really my cup of tea.
No bueno.
Now Freedom Wars. This is a game I'm kind of passionate about because I fucking hated it.
What?
Like
It's so
no,
much
I
fun.
just feel like that game, like the story was cool, and like I wanted to love the game, but I thought that the game controlled like hot garbage, and
Damn.
I could not get through it. I don't know how anyone could play that game.
It's
The
so much
controls were just
fun.
so bad. Controls were horrible,
I can't get mad at hot takes.
and like I just couldn't play it anymore. It was
This
like
boy's hot.
it was
He's on
unplayable.
fire right now.
And like I thought it was like right up my alley. I thought, and when it was a PS Plus game, like it was a free game, I was like, all right, time to finally see what the hype was about. But nah, not I did not enjoy that game. I
You
wanted
don't like
to.
zipping around with the thorn, being
I
Spider-Man.
mean that part was cool, but like it's just the controls were like really bad, and also I mean there was a little bit too much text. Like let me play the game.
There's a lot of text. Absolutely, I'll give you
Yeah.
that. I'll give you that.
Let me play the game. So much reading. Like I love storytelling games and I love a good dialogue, but that game just overdid it.
Just a lot of
Overdid it.
exposition. A lot of exposition.
Yeah. And then I think that's pretty much it for me, to be honest. That's all I could think of looking
Well,
at my
you're on
trip.
fire, so
Yeah.
you did good,
Yep.
man. Journey.
Hot take.
Yeah.
Hot take.
What about you, Max?
I will say.
I don't really have examples per se of specific games, but I feel like in general, I don't really give a shit about first-person games, especially shooters. I just maybe suck ass. Like I just don't like the view of it. I don't like the control of it, and I like seeing a character like on screen because like I don't know, I just like it. And action games like Bloodborne, Dark Souls, where you just kill a boss and then you go and then kill another boss. That's not fun to me.
Yeah, I agree. Let me piggyback on that hot take.
Yeah.
Dark Souls, Bloodborne, pretty boring.
Ooh, hot takes.
I was actually going to say that. Like, I hate the Dark Souls franchise. I hate a game that is hard just to be hard. But
it's
people
only hard
freaking
until it's
people
not.
freaking love those games. I just don't. They're not fun for me. I just don't have fun playing them.
I just feel like there's way too much bullshit in those games.
What, you don't like it when a treasure chest can eat you? That's not fun.
No, I don't like when dogs are just climbing on walls and jumping off. and there's no way I could possibly know that there's a dog on a wall.
Yeah,
Like I haven't tried any of these games, but I just don't want to buy them because I know I don't think I'll enjoy them. So
if you're gonna try any of them, I would recommend Bloodborne. I actually like Bloodborne a lot more than Dark Souls. Just the way that it handles the environmental storytelling is really interesting, and it's a lot faster, and you can kind of be a little bit more aggressive with that one. But yeah, I totally get it.
Did you beat?
Yeah, I feel like, cause Max, you like love like story games, like games with a story, and like Dark Souls like
Yeah.
doesn't have a story.
It does though. That's what's cool.
It's-
It's just it's hidden like everywhere. Like it's
yeah,
not in
it's
your
like
face.
hidden, and you kind of have to like search for it and like almost like make up your own elements in certain parts.
Mhm.
And
Absolutely.
I don't know if you would specifically, like that.
yeah.
Any other hot takes? Hot takes.
Shout out to Hot Takes.
Just after every topic. Shout out to Waller.
I think I like Assassin's Creed Brotherhood more than Assassin's Creed 2.
Yes.
See,
And
I like
that-
one the best, so
And that is
Brotherhood is-
because
I think one being the best is the hot take here.
yeah, I like
Yeah.
one
Because
by
Brotherhood
far
is
the
just
best.
a more expanded 2.
Yes, that's why. Yeah, I guess
The story
Yeah.
in 2 is
But
really
everyone
good.
like I don't know, but like whenever I see stuff online about Assassin's Creed, everyone's like, "Oh, Assassin's Creed 2 is the best one." But that's just the one. It's the same thing like Uncharted. You know, Uncharted 1 and then the leap from Uncharted 1 to Uncharted 2 is so big. And the same thing with Assassin's Creed. The leap from the original Assassin's Creed to Assassin's Creed 2 is so big.
Huge.
So I
yeah.
feel like that's why people just say the second one in the series.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the story was really
Ezio's
good.
great and everything, but I just like Altair better. I like the first one better.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. Ezio for life.
Hot takes.
Shout out to Ezio.
Dude,
My boy.
I'm gonna give Origins a
Desmond.
chance, but like to me, that series died when he died.
It kind of did.
Like, yeah,
Because 3 fucking sucks.
I
Three
guess
sucks.
this could technically be a hot take, but I liked Unity.
I like Unity too,
I don't-
actually.
I don't get why everybody
I didn't
gave
play it.
such crap to Unity. I actually really enjoyed Unity.
It was broken as shit, but it was a good game.
Yeah, I think people it was too broken for people to
Yeah, I know.
really enjoy it.
And I get that, but like, because like I personally didn't have an issue with any of the bugs or anything.
You're lucky.
But I
man.
know that I know that like so many people did. And yeah, if I was playing a game and it was crashing and had all these bugs, I'd, have a negative experience too.
I fell through the floor like 24 times. Just,
Yeah,
I would just be
didn't-
running on the street and then all of a sudden just dip right through the floor and die.
I got it a couple weeks after it launched, so maybe they had patched most of that by the time I got it.
It
But
needed months to be patched. Like I literally waited.
I
played it when it came out and then waited like 4 months and then it was patched all the way.
that's crazy. I never really had an issue.
You're lucky. You're very lucky.
And I really enjoyed it. I did. All
I
I know
guess-
was an assassin was, kind of
The
mediocre.
whole
And
initiation
the
stuff
boss
was
battle was mediocre, absolutely awful. But
awesome. Yeah.
I liked France. I like the
Paris
setting.
was beautiful. That's like one of my
Yeah.
favorite open worlds, like in games, like Paris. Like I liked London and Syndicate, but something about Paris was just awesome.
I still need to play Syndicate.
I'm struggling getting through it. It's objectively better than Unity, but there's just something about it. I don't know. And I really like the grapple hook, so you can kind of feel like Victorian Batman. But
Mhm.
just something about it. It's just off. Something about it's just off. Just
The franchise has just kind of worn me out. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
It's off and on.
It just seems like all the games are like basically the same, just reskinned.
But they're not. They're like they have like these like little differences that are like make or break. It's kind of weird to me.
It's crazy that you say that about Assassin's Creed, but I see more of a change in Assassin's Creed than I do when I see Call of Duty. But like you're so into Call of Duty.
I just love. It's just a completely
Call of
different
Duty
type
always
of game.
Call of Duty always plays perfectly though.
Call of Duty has perfected the first-person shooter how it should feel.
Hot take,
Except
I
for
like how
that-
Titanfall feels more than Call of Duty.
Screw the exo boosting bullcrap, but like you'll never find a more smooth, precise. Call of Duty is kind of perfected that.
Titanfall 2.
Best.
Still not a fan. Still don't like Titanfall.
One
or two.
Compared to, I don't know, just something about how Titanfall's movement feels. It feels so good, smooth. But shooting, I'd probably give it to Call of Duty in like the military sense. But just the moving around, especially compared to Infinite Warfare, just felt so much better.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say if you're gonna use like the boosting futuristic stuff, Titanfall is definitely better than Call of Duty. Call of Duty should not be doing that.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I liked it. I liked Advanced Warfare enough. I hated Black Ops 3, and I liked the campaign of Infinite Warfare a lot. There really wasn't much boosting or exosuiting. It was just kind of you had a jetpack sometimes, so it wasn't really that bad. Again, I'm a campaign guy. But yeah, Titanfall.
Right, which is
Titanfall is built from the ground up for the futuristic, jumping around and wall running and shit. So it naturally feels better.
I'm just glad it's over.
Yeah. Hopefully,
For now.
well, for now they'll bring it back.
I don't think they will.
You think
I
they got
think
the message?
I think people have. But like then again, it's like the same people that were complaining about boosting are the same people that complaining that they wanted to change.
Yeah, exactly. They gave him the change.
It was like Ghost was met with such like, harsh reviews and everything, and everyone hated it. They're like, wow, Call of Duty's just the same every year, Same thing. Assassin's Creed gets the same thing. It's just the same every year, blah, blah, blah. I get it. But they changed it. And, people at first kind of liked Infinite Warfare, or not Infinite Warfare, Advanced Warfare, because it was different. But then, like, Black Ops 3 came out. Then Infinite Warfare came out. And I think everybody is just kind of like, yeah, we're kind of done with the whole boosting and flying around. And even if you talk to like the pros, like I don't know if any of you guys keep up with esports, but like
not at all.
they all hate it. They all hate it. They
Really?
all hate
I could
the
imagine.
boosting. And yeah, I mean,
Now that I think about it, the time that I did spend with Advanced Warfare's multiplayer, I did play the non-boosting mode a lot.
right, that's what I did.
So maybe,
I played the non-boosting mode.
and I really liked that you could make it paintball guns. I don't know why, but that just was appealing to me.
I did that too.
Okay, cool.
It was so, like I totally changed the settings to make it paintball. It just sounded
fit
cooler.
It sounded cooler. And it just fit it more because it's like so arcadey and like this.
I
Nothing
was
like a
gonna
real
say,
warfare. Like I don't know.
Advanced Warfare is it's like the most arcadey Call of Duty I think they've ever released.
Yeah, I'd give it to it. It was a fun game. I
Well,
actually
Black
enjoyed the
Ops
time
2
that I had.
Black
But,
Ops 2 is also very arcadey,
yeah.
art style wise.
Shout out to Kevin Spacey. He did all right.
Yeah, I'll give it to him.
He did okay. He was very
He
much
was
just a COD villain.
basically just House of Cards, whatever his name is.
That's all he needed to be.
Yeah.
Press X to pay your respects.
I'll never forget the memes about that. It's so funny.
Oh, that's right. That was that game.
Yeah, that's where like literally every time you did something cool in the campaign, it was press X. Like you didn't hardly do anything yourself. But any other smoking hot takes?
I think that's it for me.
Any other controversies? Yeah, the Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 3 thing was the one I was forgetting in the back of my brain. But that's pretty much it.
I'll say Watch Dogs 1, pretty good game.
That's pretty good.
I agree.
Oh man,
Watch Dogs is
I-
really good.
I cannot stand Watch Dogs.
I platinumed it.
Of course you
To
did.
Does
me, it
Aiden
was
Pierce
just
suck?
like
Kinda,
was-
yeah. But it
it
was
was
fun.
trying so hard to be like GTA, but not.
But
Hey,
he's
I
got a
mean-
coat on, and it moves with physics.
God, now I want to.
I feel like I just had such bad experiences with Watch Dogs because whenever I would play, people would hack into my game and they'd run me over. And for some reason, it takes your character 5 minutes to stand back up.
Yeah, that shit's
And by the
annoying.
time I stood back up, they'd back over me. It was
Me
this
too.
vicious
Turn that off.
vicious cycle of me
Yeah,
getting
that-
trolled.
I hate invasion
I didn't.
modes.
That did not happen to me ever.
I can't
So I think
stand
that's
that
why
stuff.
I hate Watch Dogs so much. Is just I had the worst experiences playing that game.
Have you played Watch Dogs 2?
Yeah, we have it on PS4. I just
I love Watch Dogs
couldn't.
2. It's totally different
I
though.
play like a couple hours of it. It's pretty fun.
Just the way that they handle stealth and like non-lethal combat is fantastic.
My brother
Yeah, you
platinumed it. He said it
Definitely
was pretty easy.
lethal.
Hey, let's go.
Here's Platinums. He's here. Yeah, I can't really think of anything else. So, if we're done, it's time for I Recommend, where one of us recommends to the group something for the others to check out. It can be anything, and last week I recommended the album Sitting in the Fire by our boy Troy Baker. What did you guys think? Because this album totally caught me off guard.
I thought it was pretty good for the most part. I've never heard anything from Troy Baker before, and most of the songs, I gotta say, they were pretty good.
It just was not what I was expecting. I was expecting, I don't know why I put this image on him. I was expecting something more like folky, but it was very produced.
Yeah,
It was a lot heavier than I expected. I don't know, it just caught me off guard.
I was definitely expecting more like acoustic stuff, like
Absolutely.
the stuff that
Yeah.
he did on his Instagram thing the other day.
Yeah.
But I definitely got more of like a Kings of Leon vibe, or like kind of like Muse sometimes too in a couple songs. Like it's not my type of music, that's for sure, but like with listening to it, those are the two bands that kind of kept coming to mind, like, oh, this sounds kind of like this song, or but yeah, I wasn't bad. It was just like, it's not my type of music.
Gotcha.
It wasn't really my type of music either, but I ended up liking it, so that's what surprised me.
hmm I mean, you gotta admit the dude's like stupid talented.
Yeah,
Oh,
his,
yeah.
his vocal range is ridiculous.
It's
It shouldn't
ridiculous.
be legal what this man can do.
And he's actually
Um,
he's working on a second album. All the tracks are recorded, and it should be releasing soon. So look out for that. I listened to it way later than I wanted to. I don't know. He was on Game Over Greggy show like 2 years ago, and he was plugging it there.
Yeah,
And
promoting it.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to it for whatever reason. I just I forgot about it or whatever. And so I was house sitting, and I just I put it in, and I was just blown away. And I looped that album probably like 4 or 5 times. Like I just really fell in love with it.
Shout out to the songs Apparition and Sad Song, two favorites.
I
off
really
the
like
album.
Apparition. Yeah.
Yeah, Apparition was the most unique out of all of them, I think, because it had kind of like a jazzy type,
It
like
did.
a few parts.
It absolutely did. Yeah. I didn't
Yeah.
think about that.
So yeah, I like that one. Probably my favorite off the album.
I like the opening track too a lot. Just the overture.
Mm.
Let me see. Yeah, Apparition I really liked. Yeah, there really wasn't anything I didn't enjoy off of this one, which is weird because I'm so picky with music. Like it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, me too. I mean,
Yeah,
I didn't hate
It was a
this
pretty
at
good
all.
album. Yeah. It's just after watching the live stream, I think you would sound better with acoustic.
I hope he does an acoustic
Only.
album.
Like,
I want him to do an
acoustic
acoustic
only.
cover. Yeah,
Like, I think it would just sound better.
it's
Just-
very produced.
Maybe it's because I was tired and I was just like listening to it, trying to fall asleep. But I don't know. It just sounded way better than his recorded album, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can see that. I want him to do a cover album really bad with just him and his guitar.
Yeah, I want more like Johnny Cash vibey stuff from
He
him.
could totally pull it
Like,
off too.
Yeah, he could totally do stuff like that.
I hope we see a lot more tracks from him in the future. Yeah, I generally gravitate to more the produced things, but yeah, I can definitely appreciate a good
Yeah, me
acoustic
too.
track. And just with
Yeah,
his
this-
voice,
it
like
was
if
a
he
bit-
can carry it, then yeah, it'd be awesome.
Yeah, that's why I think a less produced album would be better, just because his voice would carry it a lot more, and he could like experiment a little more, I think.
And he's got, I mean, I imagine he's got a pretty good record deal at this point.
Yeah, it's
He has
because it's
room
like
to experiment.
the instruments in that isn't like revolutionary or anything. It's more about his voice and his vocal range. So you would be able to hear that a lot more with acoustic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, like you said, like it's not really musically revolutionary, but yeah, it is really about him.
Yeah, exactly. It's not about the instruments. It's about him and the voice.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'd love to hear an acoustic album from him. I imagine the one that's coming up is more like this again, but maybe in the future he can get stuff,
Do
something
acoustic,
else.
yeah.
And I know how he performs. He often does a lot of acoustic stuff, but yeah, if he can get himself like in the recording studio and like really like rehearse these songs and like make them as good as they can be, like man, that sounds awesome. Can't only wish him the best. Everyone, go listen to Sitting by the Fire if you haven't already. Troy Baker. It's on Spotify. Maybe go throw him a couple dollars. Maybe buy the album. So Matt, you had something for us you wanted to recommend?
Yeah, so a couple of days ago, I finally finished the series Dexter, and I posted a in the Kind of Funny group, saying basically like what I thought about it, and I was asking people about what they thought about the ending. It's kind of a controversial show because like. A lot of people believe that like the first half is really good, and then the second half is like it's not as good. But me personally, I thought it was way through. Like I enjoyed all the seasons except for maybe season 6. So I'm gonna recommend you guys the first episode of season 1, and then just like tell me like what you think about it, and then. Yeah, after you finish episode 1, you know, if you're inclined, go watch like more of it if you want. But,
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. I'd be totally down. I've heard a lot of good things about this show, but I've also heard that the last half is drags and is not good. But yeah, I'd love to check out the episode.
That's on Netflix, right?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. So then, I guess
Yeah.
we'll talk about season 1, episode 1 of Dexter next week. Everyone, go check that out. And this has been episode 5 of Gridlife Digest. Thank you so much for listening. You can head over to gridlifedigest.com to see everything we post and consider subscribing on iTunes, Google Play, and YouTube so you never miss a single topic. We'll be back next Wednesday with another set of amusing conversations. Thank you so much. My name is Noah Friskop, and thank you guys. This was a fun one.
Peace.
Follow us on Twitter.
Follow us on the Twitter. Buy our merch.